Well, a lot of people have asked me why did I write that book or any book. All the stories I wrote were true because I believed in what I saw. I was traveling west one time at the junction of the state line of Colorado. It's arid western one and the state line of poor Utah. I saw in the clouds huge and massed above the fiery golden desert of Evenfall the great image of God with forefinger pointed straight at me through halos and rolls and gold folds that were like the existence of a gleaming spear in his right hand, which saith, "Come on, boy, go thou across the ground. Go moan for man. Go moan. Go groan. Go groan alone. Go roll your bones alone. Go thou and be little beneath my sight. Go thou and be minute as seed in the pod. Go thou, die hence. And of this world report you well and truly." Anyway, I wrote the book because we're all gonna die. In the loneliness of my life, my father dead, my brother dead, my mother far away, my sister and my wife far away. Nothing here but my own tragic hands that once were guarded by a world, a sweet attention, that now are left to guide and disappear their own way into the common dark of all our deaths. Sleeping in me raw bed alone and stupid, with just this one pride and consolation. My heart broke in the general despair and opened up inwards to the Lord. I made a supplication in this dream. So in the last page of On the Road, I describe how the hero, Dean Moriarty's come to see me all the way from the West Coast just for a day or two. We've just been back and forth across the country several times in cars, and now our adventures are over. We're still great friends, but we have to go into later phases of our lives. So there he goes, Dean Moriarty, ragged in a moth-eaten overcoat he brought specially for the freezing temperatures of the East. Walking off alone, and last I saw of him, he rounded the corner of 7th Avenue, eyes on the street ahead, and bent to it again. Gone. So, in America, when the sun goes down, and I sit on the old broken-down river pier watching the long, long skies over New Jersey and sense all that raw land that rolls in one unbelievable huge bulge over to the West Coast, and all that road going, and all the people dreaming in the immensity of it. In an hour, I know by now that children must be crying in the land where they let the children cry. And tonight the stars will be out, and don't you know that God is Pooh Bear? The evening star must be drooping and shedding her sparkler dims on the prairie, which is just before the coming of complete night that blesses the earth, darkens all the rivers, cups the peaks, and folds the final shore in. Nobody knows what's going to happen to anybody besides the forlorn rags of growing old. Think of Dean Moriarty, I even think of old Dean Moriarty, the father we never found. Think of Dean Moriarty, I think of Dean Moriarty.
but he'll find his way by the morning light.
Buddies, it is the Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Mr. Perfect in the house today. Also, the post-birthday boy is keeping a very low profile because he realizes today isn't his birthday, and the cowbell is back into play. The cowbell is back into play. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Hey, Joe, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yo, buddies.
Hey, my buddy.
Love opening the show with Kerouac, man. Great touch.
You know, I was actually just sitting here thinking this one day, Fez and I may have to go back into radio. And you will not be able to go from Kerouac into Los Lobos to start what is essentially, I guess, a comedy show, even though I refuse to call it that. So at some point, we may have to go back and try to keep an audience with us rather than just play stuff that we think is cool and like.
Let's just enjoy it now while we can. Do all sorts of things.
You were enjoying the Kerouac?
Yeah, I enjoyed the Kerouac.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That was one of your books on tape I gave you. I tried to get Fez to read on the road for a long time because it's one of those books that's like a starter book for kids, and he wanted... I know you would like novels. So finally I gave him the book on, I guess it was CD by the time, and you're listening to it in your car while you traveled.
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing. It was great.
Who read it? Because normally don't those things have like a celebrity reader?
Yeah, usually, sometimes the author will read it.
Yeah, well,
not in this case.
Yeah.
But, I don't know who read it. I don't remember.
You don't like to sit there and read. You'd rather have somebody read to you, like a blind person.
Yeah, that would be the best. If someone could just, and everything, too. The newspaper, any of it.
What's the problem with reading for you?
Reading?
Maybe you're dyslexic.
Maybe. I feel like I end up reading the same line over and over again in a book. I really can't get through more than one page in a book at a time before I have to put it down.
You may be dyslexic, and that's sometimes what happens is you get the words mixed up, or you get the letters confused, your brain confused, or in the case where you think you're with a woman and you're fucking a guy. So when I start to check these things off for you, you may, in fact, be dyslexic. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Mr. Perfect because we've got a gambling weekend coming up. I checked in with my guy last night, the guy that's been my man now for years, right, that I put my bets in with. The fucker tries to flag me last night.
No way.
Because I bet differently. I don't mix, I don't come in with 7 bets. I don't try to re-up myself over the weekend. Don't use Monday nights. I go 1 bet a fucking week, and it's Mr. Perfect. So this, the gimmick here is he's acting like something is up. I go, and I just gave him the courtesy call to say, I'm coming in larger than you've ever known me this weekend. And he goes, what's the bet? So I'll see if I can cover it. I go, I don't have it yet. He goes, then how do you know you're coming in large? I go, I just know. He's like, well, then I can't fucking take it. I go, bullshit, you can't take it. You can take my fucking money when I lose. You don't have a problem with that. You don't try to stop things when you're winning. Why do you want to stop shit now? So we went fucking back and forth. He thinks I'm getting inside information, and he wants in.
Really?
And I'm like, fuck you. You're not piggybacking me. Buy a satellite if you want to know the fucking bet. That's how I find out. So, Earl, your name is getting out there.
That's cool, baby.
That's cool, baby. I'm going to put up with that talk because the fact that I know he's going to come in with a big...
You know that everyone listening right now, too, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
They got one ear on the radio. They got the other ear ready on the speed dial for their bookies and for their beards.
Well, I don't know why you would put an ear on your speed dial, but the point is this. I know. I'm even thinking about this. I may need like a 30 or 40 second fucking jump here because if the line suddenly changes, I don't want to, I should be the one to get in before the word comes out. Oh, I went back and forth with this prick last night. He's like, what's your system? I go, I'm flipping a fucking shiny lucky quarter in your mom's twat. That's my fucking system, prick. Don't fucking worry how I'm getting it. You don't worry what my system is when I'm losing. Oh, I hate these fuckers. And he's like, I do everything on the up and up. I go, you do? I thought this was an illegal operation. I had no idea this is a Better Business Bureau thing. I was out of my fucking mind last night. I was acting like Sean Penn in Mystic River. They were fucking holding on to me. I was going crazy. I've never been as live as I have now with Mr. Perfect.
I'm not saying which way I'm going to go, but I'm leaning towards a hot game.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking dog.
Really?
I'm only, for the second time during the streak, I'm thinking dog.
I don't even want to know. You just tell me when it's time to go. I'll drop the fucking hammer, and I won't think twice about it. Because I hate a guy who, when he gets something handed to him, he sits there and starts to worry about it. I'm just going to go.
And I guarantee you it's going to be a lock. Every pick has been a lock for me.
You're preaching to the choir, brother. I'm sitting here with a long robe on and a fucking hymn book. That's how much I believe in you.
Earl's become almost mystical with this. When the pick hits him, that's when we know. There's no sort of... It just... All of a sudden, I think it just comes into his head.
Mark, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
What's up, boys? Hey, listen, Fez, I think you might have a touch of ADD, not dyslexia. I got the same problem. I'm the smartest fucking person that I know, and I can't get through a book. And I got 500 things going through my head when I'm trying to read a page. I keep reading the same line over. I feel like I'm missing the whole thing.
I have ADD, and I'll read a couple books at the same time. I'll just fucking go, this fucking chapter blows. I'll pick up another book. I think ADD means like you go from one thing to the next like a stupid bee.
Yeah, with me, I just put a book down because it's putting me to sleep. I mean, any book will just knock me out from trying to read the pages.
It makes you drowsy?
It really does. I mean,
even if you're reading like a scary book or an action book?
Yeah, it'll just put the thing, I'll just end up with the thing falling on my chest, and then I go out. I think another problem might be the fact that I hate any sort of black and white pattern. I think the black words on the white page really just turn me off.
Hey, Chris, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
How you doing, buddy? Hey, I wanted to tell Earl, don't fuck with Ball State. He said he's leaning toward dog. Don't fuck with Ball State.
Well, first of all, don't ever fucking call here and tell this man what he can and cannot do. Two, I watched Letterman last night when he is taking Ball State big against the entire everybody who's going to the Michigan game. So the Ball State thing, I would have a hard time believing. Unless, Earl, you want to, and I'll fucking drop the hammer. Speaking of Letterman last night, so proud of little Jimmy. Jim Norton on the Letterman show today, last night. I thought he just fucking murdered. And then they bring him out to this. Now, do you get to ask for what you want your music to be, or does that look like it was a surprise?
He looked like he was so pleasantly surprised to hear Iron Man as he came out.
I thought he just fucking nailed it.
I thought he was great on Letterman. I did hear the Iron Man and wondered if the Road Warriors were coming out to do some comedy, too.
Yeah, this was great ring music for them. Was this the first ring music ever used?
I don't think so. I think that was Freebird with the Fabulous Freebirds.
All right, good call, Fez. You're probably right about that. What about Junkyard Dog? What was his song?
He started out with Atomic Dog.
Yeah, that's what I loved.
With George Clinton.
And then he went into Slap Those Cakes or something crazy.
Grab Them Cakes.
Yeah. I guess you have to start paying for this music.
Yeah, that's what happened. Then they eventually had to start writing their own.
Didn't Dusty Rhodes, when he was doing the whole Midnight Rider gimmick, was using Midnight Rider?
He only did the Midnight Rider for a short period, right?
Yeah,
and though it's legendary, people will go, my favorite time ever was Midnight Rider. And I'm like, that was only done. Was it in Florida Championship or Georgia Championship?
He had actually pulled it off in both, I think. He tried to be the Midnight Rider 2 times.
But they act like this thing got 100 share. Like it's up there with Namath beating the Colts.
And every time you do it, like an interview or anything, he was just walking out and going, not going to let him catch me. I'm not going to let him catch me.
But I got one more silver dollar.
He would use the Willie Nelson version, too, instead of the Allman Brothers.
That's what he would come to the ring with?
With the Midnight Rider.
The other thing, too, about him is that for sometimes he would just start quoting Dylan. There would be no reason at all, and all of a sudden Dylan quotes would come out. And I guess that, the wrestling audience weren't big Dylan fans, so they're like, that Dusty Rhodes is amazing, some of the shit that he'll say.
Then he wrapped up his career with a little cowbell. With this.
Eric, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Hey, little Jimmy was talking about it yesterday. He did pick his walk-on music for Letterman.
Well, it was very fucking cool and very, very funny. And I'm sure Paul Schaefer enjoyed it. Because it's, he likes every type of music that there is. So to be able to actually, to go out there and play some metal must have been nice for him. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Guys, Dick Holder 818, baby.
All right, buddy.
Face!
So many big fans of Eastside Dave.
Hey, I'm throwing down pretty hard on Mr. Perfect tomorrow. I need to ask if we can have an installment of the Ron and Pitsy show just to make sure we're all cool for this weekend.
Why, is that what we did last weekend? Did we call it Ron and Pits? Because Fezzy, I love you and I love Dave. But please, don't look at Earl. Don't fucking talk to Earl. Don't tell him games that you like. Don't fucking bring up anything to him. Just keep going as a team. We're all a team here. I'm putting up the cash. Earl's putting up the fucking spirit. He knows. He's got the voodoo. I need you to do your thing, Fez. And that's stay scarce.
All right, but eventually I may have to look at Earl or say something to him about something else.
Never. That's like saying, eventually I might have to fucking let a ball go through my legs in the World Series. No, this is your job. I don't care if this show sucks. I want the bet to come through.
It's Fez like a gambling Medusa. You look at him, he turns to stone.
It's like, instead of snakes in his fucking hair, it's dicks. It's just all these fucking cocks swinging every which way. Now, by the way, a nice... Than, by the way, I see you walking by. Congratulations on the edit job. The edit job, was that you?
Nice work, Than.
Everybody did it together? Look how he spreads it around.
Oh, yeah, team player there.
What a team player.
It was E-Rock.
E-Rock, yeah. Amazing job to be able to pull that off, E-Rock. Amazing job. Because I was there, it was a clusterfuck. The way it sounded on the air was professional. Everything that Anthony went off for on his rant today, absolutely true. But if you listened, you had no idea. You had no idea at all that a black man had a fucking major breakdown on stage.
And hijacked a show.
And all that really matters is on the air. Just like that all that matters here, Fez, on our show,
right,
is the bets come through. Why don't you take a couple days off? Get out of it.
I shouldn't have to leave my job just so Earl can make his pick.
That's the fucking jinxie talk you're doing already, my man. Don't take me from, like, having fun with this to starting freaking out, because I am a fucking millimeter away from the red zone right now. That's how Earl has me so excited that all these emotions are coming to me. It's like puberty. I'm laughing. I'm crying. I'm fighting. I'm in love. I'm finally alive. This is what a human feels like. The thrill of your bets coming through.
Does nothing beat a joy and exuberance of found money?
Nothing. You know, they always tell you, fatherhood, when you first heard that baby. That's fucking dog shit compared to a major betting victory. You know how I felt when I held my kids, Fez?
How?
Hungry. And I'll tell you the truth, a little bored. But with this, I'm alive. I'm finally alive. Do you want that feeling? Do you want on the team?
Yeah, I want on the team.
Stay away from us.
Oh.
Don't look at Earl. Go away. 100% join us.
Right.
Don't
I want to be in.
You're not in. You're not hurting. That's what you're doing.
All right.
You in makes us lose.
I'd like to be some part of the effort, I guess.
You are. Your effort is staying away, not having an opinion, obviously not making a bet.
Well, that's no fun.
I don't want you to have fun. I want to win.
These weekends are not relaxing anymore.
Here's John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Fez is a lot like that character Mush on A Bronx Tale, the guy that anytime he made a bet, you could always guarantee that the bet was going to go away.
Can I tell you something? Mush is Diamond Jim Brady next to Fez. And no offense to you, Fez.
I feel offended.
I never knew anyone who was as bad as gambling as you are. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I've never been on a fucking streak like this. I never knew I needed a lucky Negro all these years. I finally have one. And the last thing I want to do is fuck with it.
I've never known anyone to go on a streak like this.
That's my precious right there. Precious. Precious. And God bless you, Fez, but I don't want your jinx stank getting all over him or this bet.
You're going to say stank, and people are going to think it's like a hygiene problem, too.
Brian, you're on Fez.
Ronnie,
yeah.
You need to put a special room together and keep the Jinxie twins completely away from Earl. I wouldn't even let them in the same room with Earl.
All kidding aside, I'd like to put this fucking kid in a bubble. I would love to put Earl in a bubble right now, like Bubble Boy. Bubble Boy the genius.
You're like John Travolta in the plastic bubble.
That's right. Sometimes I'll let you put on a NASA suit and go out and ride a horse. What was that little girl's name in that? What a fucking little hottie she was.
What, Glynis
O'Connor. Glynis O'Connor. Nice call, Fezzy. See? The fact you never went out and played helped you. Glynis O'Connor. Now, there's another film, I think it's called California Dreamin'. California Dreamin', where Glynis O'Connor shows her tits. It's 100% batch material. 100% batch material. Here's Robert. Robert, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I want Earl to man up and pick this game tonight, man, Louisville and West Virginia. He keeps picking these pansy-ass games.
All right, I want to fucking explain something to you, you ham and egger. There's no such thing as a pansy-ass game. The point is to pick a winner. If it was fucking easy, if somehow Vegas left these easy games out there, somehow it was the Colts in 47, we would all be fucking millionaires. There is no such thing as an easy bet. The fucking people who think they are have never bet with a line. It drives me crazy. You don't give this man the respect he deserves. Oh, Jesus Christ. See how quick I am ready to redline, Fez?
Yeah. See, I don't know if you're enjoying it so much.
Enjoying it? I've never been happier.
Oh.
You look great in that new tailored suit, by the way.
Thank you, Earl. You know, this is the point. You know what I enjoyed, Fez?
What's that?
When we're taking a knee. When we're taking a knee. And I'm calling my bookie and I'm fucking going, I fucking swear to God, if you don't have every fucking penny of it, I will kill your whole family. Which is, you know, one thing about bookies, they never care about their families. It's hard to really fucking frighten them. And obviously they don't care about their, you know, own lives. They're crazy people. That's what you got to do. By the way, so I got this email yesterday about our own Pitsy. And I guess it was sent out to a lot of people. Mars sent this out to all the, and hopefully all the XM suits. Pitsy is the best. I asked him to keep an eye out for a FedEx package that was crucial for the Halloween party, but he goes and does one better. Not only did he keep an eye out for it, he signed for it, hand-delivered to the Hard Rock Cafe without being asked. Please pass along my heartfelt thanks. Pitsy, you're a fucking rock star today.
Thanks, boys. Thank you, Mars, too.
Mars sent this out. Mars, you're a class gentleman. A class gentleman.
Way to be on the ball, Pitsy.
Well, he said it was important, so I thought I had to get there right away. So I just brought
Here's
it
what
down.
you don't understand. Earl would have left it. He would have signed for it and stuck it in his office. Dave would have eaten it. We don't normally have anyone we can be proud of. This is the first time, literally, since we've been to the XM, that there's been a positive email about the staff. And Wiki, I think you ought to get a hold of Pitsy and tell him so yourself.
Yeah, there's been emails before, but never a positive one.
Right. Normally it is, Ron and Fez have the worst staff. Can't you keep them in line? They're terrible people.
Keep them out of the O&A bullpen.
Another thing, what a class guy Mars is to do this.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of taking it for granted, you do something nice. You know, I'm going to give you a little advice here in life, Fezzy, if you ever want to impress anybody. You do something nice for their kids.
Oh, interesting.
Do something nice for their kids. Or something, and in this case, when you say something nice about Pitsy, that's a reflection on me. I feel proud. I'm a proud father. When it's a bad thing about Dave, I feel like it's on me as well. So this, Pitsy, the thing I'm trying to tell you, is this a compliment for me and Fezzy, too?
Thank you very much.
Because you have fucking class. Look at him, everybody. Pitsy gets today's Star of the Day and the Ron and Fez Spirit Award today.
Congratulations. 2 awards.
And then E-Rock also deserves an award for what he did for O&A. Did Opie ever say something nice to him?
I don't think he ever did. I don't think he ever said anything.
Make sure Opie says something nice to E-Rock, because seriously, bro, that's the fucking editing job of all time. The editing job of all time.
We can congratulate you, but that's the highest honor we can give someone from another show.
Right. We can't give you the Spirit Award. And what was the other award?
The Star.
Star of the Day. You get a little star that, like in kindergarten, that we paste onto you, and then you can walk around with it.
Because E-Rock's not a citizen of this show, so we really can't take our highest honors and awards.
But, you know, I would have lost money because I'm going like this. I'm going to fucking set this at 6 tomorrow and hear this crazy show. I am going to listen to what it sounds like when fucking Public Enemy is fucking banging out shit and losing their moms for 6 hours.
The weirdest thing was when Chuck D walked down the steps, I was the only one that knew who he was. Nobody knew who he was because he came alone.
Second Spirit Award. Here's the thing about Chuck D. Why does he come alone and then the other guy needs a staff of 1,000?
I don't know.
I'll tell you why. Confidence. Chuck D is the real fucking artist. The other guy is like the entertainer. Entertainers always need to be propped up, always need to hear good things about themselves from their fucking things. An artist, he just does things because he does it.
He was like Bizarro Earl. He had a Met cap on and a white shirt, too.
Wow,
so.
Earl. You're the anti-Chuck D.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was listening to something.
You're Earl D.
Wait, hold on. Earl's listening to another radio show. What are they saying over there, Earl?
No, I was queuing something up in here.
For what?
For later on.
What is it? I'm curious to hear.
No, we were trying to find a particular brand of music.
Brand of music?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Here's JK. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, Ronnie Fezzy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, you were talking about the wrestling music. The Freebirds came out to Freebird. What was it that David Von Erich came out to? Do you remember, Fezzy?
Another one bites the dust?
No.
All right, just like a little joke for anyone who got it, because the Von Erichs died one after another, and it just went no. I'm John Kerry right now. I cannot pull off a joke.
I don't know what David Von Erich came out to. Of course, Kerry Von Erich was Rush's modern-day warrior, Tom Sawyer.
And that was early on, right?
Yeah, that was pretty early, too. I think the Freebirds were already coming out to Freebird at that point, though.
Some of those old WrestleMania CDs that you watch, when you see guys just coming out dry with no music, it seems so stupid now.
Or anyone who is just all of a sudden in the ring when they come back from any sort of commercial break, just standing there waiting.
Rich, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, any chance that Earl might be able to sleep over at your place tonight? I worry about him walking home and ending up, with a crack whore or something like that on the way home. Any chance he could stay with you tonight?
I love him, but I live in a building in the Upper East Side, and if I even brought him in after 5 o'clock, I mean, I probably could get him in early if I dressed him up as a butler, but, Earl, I wouldn't mind renting a hotel room if you need it tonight. Me and you will just sleep together next to, like, the Three Stooges.
You couldn't even get me through the service entrance?
Early, I can. Once the lights go down, it's like trying to get you into Palm Beach. It's that fucking ugly. Palm Beach, they actually make people carry a card. And I think finally somebody stepped in and went, you gotta stop this. We can't live in a country where you have to have papers for the Nazi police.
That's what you work all your life for, try to get your fortune so that you have to carry a card to get around your neighborhood.
You don't get the gimmick, Fez. The thing is, they're not stopping people who have fortunes.
Oh.
They're stopping people who don't look like the Monopoly Man. The Monopoly Man can walk up and down Palm Beach 3 o'clock in the morning. But if your skin is a little more tan, brown or black. But Fez immediately went worrying about the white people. How are the white people going to get in and out?
What if you're a high yellow?
Oh, believe me, it's the same thing, Earl. When I'll just say my family, anyone who's high yellow looks like Idi Amin to them. And that's just across the board.
But Idi Amin is so black, he's probably purple.
Thank you. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, didn't the Freebirds come out to Bad Street, Atlanta, GA, sung by P.S. Hayes?
Bad Street, did they come out to, Fez?
Yeah, that was down the road after Michael Hayes figured, you know what, I'm not just a wrestler, I'm a rock star as well. So he recorded his own song, Bad Street. And then later on, even after that, he came out to a cover of The Boys Are Back in Town that he recorded.
And then later, didn't Michael P.S. Hayes come out as Diamond Dallas Page?
Not exact same look. But
same look, same gimmick, same everything, but we weren't supposed to notice.
I have a black beard with really bleached blonde hair.
That is the best look. You've done that a couple times in the past. This is my favorite.
It really is the villain look.
Yeah.
When you have that black beard, it's something scary about it. Just really contrasts the bleached blonde hair.
Yeah, not one of those guys ever thought, I want to go blonde, so I'll go to a fucking stylist and get it done. They just pour some goddamn quarter. I don't know what this cheap shit is they use. Is it iodine? Is it oxide? What is it?
It's something as cheap as you can get because it just dries out the hair, too, so that it just looks like straw in the ring.
And then, I mean, they say blonde, but it's white.
Right.
It's just colorless.
And then it's a really nice contrast when they start bleeding. That hair will that white hair will just hold the blood nicely.
Hey, Don, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, wasn't one of the Von Erichs stranglehold Ted Nugent?
I don't recall that, ever.
It's actually not a bad song to come out to.
Take care, boy.
This might have been Kevin Von Erich, now that I hear it.
How many Von Erichs were there?
Oh, I think there was 5. 5 that wrestled.
How many are left?
1, Kevin.
Stranglehold. Kept him safe.
Jackie died as a kid. Kerry shot himself in the chest. David, they said it was his intestines exploded, but they think that was probably a drug overdose. Mike and Chris both killed themselves.
You feel like you know too much about the Von Erichs?
No, I think just enough where I could really sit down with them and discuss each and every suicide comfortably.
Hey, Tim, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, what about Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant? Wasn't he the first one to come out with music?
No, that was long down the road where he was coming out to the Manhattan Transfers boy from New York City.
You can't scare anybody by playing Manhattan Transfer music.
He should have come out to Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, but I don't think that's any more frightening.
Now, we're at the point now that we're doing the same thing with pitchers. They bring pitchers out to music and football teams. The problem with football teams, they all come out to Welcome to the Jungle, which is just ridiculous. You can't all have the same damn song.
And there was a huge outcry when Billy Wagner, the Mets closer, tried to steal Mariano's entrance theme, Mariano the Yankees closer. He tried to steal Enter Sandman playing in the same city. And all the Yankee fans were like, you're stealing his theme music. They actually called it theme music like they were wrestlers.
Yeah, you can't. You cannot pull that off. Everybody has to have their own music.
It's taking someone's gimmick infringement.
Here's Chuck. Chuck, you're on Ron and Fez.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a little bug to throw into Earl's ear, and I'm not trying to influence his decision.
Chuck, I don't even want to take the call. I do not want this call. You have to understand something. I want to keep like an operation. around Earl. I don't want any germs, any of your fucking loser germs coming near him. This guy's a winner. The only winner I've ever known in my life.
Well, I mean, I don't do well at football, but I wouldn't say I'm a loser. You know me.
I love you, Fez, but you're a loser.
Oh, man.
You know who called you a loser the other night, Mayor?
Who?
Anthony's chick. She goes, what a loser.
Really?
Yeah.
The other night at the Hard Rock, you know how many people walked up to me and just like, I'm not telling you how to influence I'm not influencing your pick, but I would look at, and I just zoned them out.
Just zone them out.
I was like, la, 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 la.
Good.
I just didn't hear them.
I really would love to at least get a NASA helmet and put it over your head.
We walk around, remember it was like Get Smart, they had the cone of silence?
I would love that, Earl.
Just walk around with a little mini one.
I might even start feeding you intravenously. I don't want you choking. Not before the end of this season.
He probably needs a good meal, though, Ronnie. You can't just keep him locked up.
All right, all kidding aside, could you say one positive fucking thing to me? Everything you've said to me today is negative about the way the system is going. The system is perfect. Intravenous is the only way to do this. I don't want you to have any opinions on this, Fez. No opinions at all.
All right. I will keep them to myself.
I love you, but you're a jinx.
See, that doesn't sound like love to me.
All right, for the first time in my life, Fez,
right?
I don't care about your feelings,
your
state of being. After football season, I'll go back. Every little twitch you have, I'll take you off to the doctors. I'll make sure you get the new checkbooks that you like with the seashells on it. Right now, it's Earl's time. There's a new baby that's prettier and more lovable than you, and that baby's name is Black Girl.
I can understand there being a baby that needs more attention, but more beautiful and more, lovable?
Don't be jealous.
I'm a little jealous.
You're my little man. I need you to do something for me. Have I always been there for you?
Always.
I need you to do something for me.
What's that?
Put a potato sack over your head and hide your fucking face in that corner until the bet's done.
Can't it be something a little nicer and funner?
That's the negative thing. This isn't about you having fun, Fezzy. It's about us. Now I'm back again. And I'm about to go fucking Mystic River in this place. Have a bunch of cops lined up because I'm going to fucking start screaming. I'm going to go out of my mind. Nothing can get in the way of this bet.
I can't wait till college football season is over.
Just think about the pile of money that you have now, and then it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. Hasn't it gotten bigger in the last 5 weeks?
Your mouth to God's ear. Most of the time, it's God's mouth to your ear. That's how I feel right now. This is the only time in my life I had faith. I feel like Abraham. If Earl asked me to kill a kid, I would fucking do it until he put his hand up and stopped me. Earl, did Abraham even try to talk it out with God?
No, I don't think so. I think he just took God at his word and took Isaac into the woods.
How does he know that he's hearing it properly? Normally when I get some kind of thing of take somebody out, I make him repeat so I understand completely.
Yeah, I guess his voice must have been really booming when he had Isaac up on that altar, ready to kill him.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Ron?
Yeah.
Hey, what isn't it 50% alcoholics turn to addictive gambling?
At least. I'm going to tell you right now, I am multiple addictions. Multiple.
You get me worried here, Ronnie.
If there's anything to be addicted to, I will do it. And this is my newest thing. And I don't see how it hurts anyone. It's taking all your money, shoving it in on some underage kids playing a sport on the other side of the country. I don't see how that's harmful.
It's not harmful to the kids? Then you don't think it puts pressure on them?
How do they know? You're just looking for negative things. I'm talking about college funds are going into this money. Insurance plans, everything's going in because I know we're going to win.
Is it a problem if you keep winning?
Thank you.
It's a big high. You know, you come down, that crash is hard.
Who are you, my sponsor? I told my sponsor the other night, I said, I'll fucking beat you to death with a tire iron if you get in the way of me and this money. I will fucking kill you on the street.
See, that doesn't seem like you're getting a lot of joy out of the winning.
I have never been happier. You know what it's like, Fezzy. Monday and Tuesday I couldn't be happier, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Now it's time to pay. You pay a little bit with anxiety. I'm anxious right now.
We've eaten at the best places.
We've been living large. I'm having the best time my whole life.
Big pimping. Totally big pimping it out. Here.
I haven't talked to my chick in 5 weeks. It's been me, Earl, Horse. Yesterday, I had to take this big red-headed baby I have out for ice cream. How did you do? Did you enjoy yourself?
That was one of the most special moments of my life. It was so great. The ice cream was just so unbelievably delicious.
Ice cream is ice cream to me, Fez. I'm going to tell you the truth. Fez, you were the only one who had the frozen hot chocolate. We went to Serendipity, and it's like we're sitting at a table. Your chick came over, my chick.
Yep.
Our friends Christine and Tracy showed up looking unbelievably hot, which is a fucking problem in an ice cream place. Ice cream is melting all around us. And for one moment, we were all friendly with each other. But I felt bad because we were the only table there without a child.
Yeah, and we were definitely loud. It was like Reservoir Dogs in an ice cream shop.
Yeah,
it was really awesome.
And then because it was his birthday, we would cheer every time he took another bite of his ice cream.
And I tried to fake you out one time by pretending that the spoon was going into my mouth and went to the side of my head.
All right, tell me how you would take this. Tracy said to me today, hey, Dave is so funny. He is so funny. Doesn't come off on the show, though, but he is... she thought you were hysterical, but the thing that was like... She actually didn't say it doesn't come off on the show. I'm just adding that. But because I'm trying to have a good show sometimes, I'm thinking, why would this be a shock to her that he's a fun guy?
I don't know. I thought I'm pretty similar. On and off the air, I really don't...
Maybe we keep you penned in here. We don't let you roll.
I don't think so. I maybe get some nervous from time to time, and there are the callers who get me a little frenzied up.
What was it that you ate yesterday?
I had chocolate layered cake with mint chocolate chip ice cream, hot fudge, and I'm not just fucking around. The best whipped cream I've had in about 2 decades.
And it was huge.
Yeah, it was gigantic, and like every mouthful was... It really was...
Not one person, I think, finished. Well, Fez, you finished, but you only had frozen hot chocolate.
Yeah, mine was like a big frozen drink that I had, which was delicious. I always get that. I hadn't had that in a long time, so I had to go for the specialty of the house.
It's like really a cute place because it's like for little kids and stoners. There's something about it that just reminds you of acid.
Yeah, well, there was like an Andy Warhol puppet hanging from the ceiling, and there was like an Andy Warhol mock painting and weird psychedelic shit like chairs hanging all over the place.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place to go to. Serendipity 3, I guess they call it, on 60th Street. Dave, you got giddier and happier the more of the ice cream sundae that you ate, because you were like so excited that everybody was being nice to you, and that there was all this attention focused on you.
Yeah.
And then with that came the sugar rush.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because you had already had the cupcakes on this show, so you just kept getting sillier and happier, and you were basically waving your spoon in the air like a child celebrating a kid's birthday.
I thought maybe they put some like pot sprinkles in my sundae, because I was so fucking like lightheaded and genuinely happy. I haven't been that happy in a long time. It was so good. The ice cream is great when it's first given to you cold, and then even when it becomes like ice cream soup, it still is good. That's like the true test of good ice cream.
What are we talking about? Ice cream still? I walk in the other room, and you guys are still talking about the ice cream?
Well, I'm just trying to give you a picture of how good it was.
Now, tell me this. So it comes in. Why did everybody short arm when the fucking check came around? Everybody got very fucking crocodile arms.
Well, I thought it was my birthday, so...
It was your birthday. I hope you had a very special day.
It was.
I thought of it because, I guess to you, it was your chance to have a day with your hero.
Yeah, it was. You're my hero, and I felt like sharing Sundays with you.
And I didn't mock you out in front of your chick.
No.
Or bring up you getting your dog, having a dog lick your balls.
I appreciate that.
The Brazilian anal porn I didn't mention.
Thank you. Please.
How was your day yesterday?
I know. That's great. I wish we could do that more often, but I guess I gotta wait another 364.
Yeah.
That sucks. Maybe sometime on a weekend, though, we could be ice cream pals.
I don't see that happening. Why you go to Notre Dame with Fezzy like you do?
I'd love to do that, but
that seemed to have stopped some time ago, huh, Fez?
Yeah, we haven't probably seen a Notre Dame game together probably 4 or 5 weeks.
We're going to do that, though. I think we're going to do it this Saturday, maybe.
Hey, Christine's husband is in the Eggplant Queens. He's off shooting that Mick Jagger TV show yesterday, so he didn't show up with us. Where are the Eggplant Queens playing tonight, right? Because my best friend Patrick told me he was heading out there with Dawn.
Patrick's going out there with Dawn?
Forget what I said.
All right, they're playing in Levittown at the Vintage Lounge. Show starts at 9 o'clock tonight for Eggplant Queens.
Nice. So, and then he also lent us that Kerouac that we played in the beginning. I used to have it, but I don't know what the fuck happened to it. It's driving me crazy.
It's cool stuff.
I wish that Patrick would just stay away.
You know what I kind of freaked me out? We're only like 7 weeks away from Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are into November. Year's going to end up quick. It's going to fly by now.
True. Mahoney, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, yeah. After my daughter went trick-or-treating the other night with my wife, I caught the last 5 minutes of 45 minutes of The Outsiders on HBO.
Start crying?
Classic. No, I didn't shed a tear this time, but I wanted to make sure Earl knew that I was thinking about him. I want him to stay gold.
Stay gold, pony boy. You are my fucking pony boy, Earl.
It's like when you open, like in Pulp Fiction, when you open that briefcase, you just look and you just get enlightened.
You know what it is, Earl? You're the only one I can share a sunset with. Sure, I like Fez and I like Dave, but they don't see the world the way you do. I don't think either one of them would stop and look at the color purple, and thank God for it. But you do, pony boy, and you are gold.
Thank you, Ronnie. And you get paid, too. And at the end of it, at the end of the sunset, you get paid.
I give a fuck about a sunset. The only thing about a sunset I like is the fucking reflection off the money. But the point is this. You're a little fucking piece of gold for this show, this city, this country, this planet.
For wagers everywhere.
God bless you. I want to go out one day when you're doing your photography. I'll hold a fucking light for you or something.
Thank you, Ronnie. I could always use
You ever see the pictures this kid takes, Fez?
I've seen some.
Amazing.
I was never really all that impressed with his photography.
Love it. Love everything about you, Earl.
Good to be loved.
No, I wouldn't mind doing is going roller skating with you. I don't care if we go up to Trump Place or down at Rockefeller Center. I just want to spend the day with you roller skating, eating cotton candy, after the bets come in.
You've never gone skating with me.
What'd you say, Jinxie?
My name is Fezzy, not Jinxie. And we've never gone skating.
I got a email here. I got to find it first. This came from Milkman Dan. Our buddy Milkman Dan sent me an email, Fez.
An email?
Yeah.
What in the world is an email? Does the postman bring that?
No. First of all, there's no postman because this isn't 1932. There's a mailman out there still, but there's no postman. At least not over my lifetime. Email comes through us through the computer. It's a very exciting new thing, and we're the only radio show that will read email.
And now, Ron and Fez, the show of the future, brings you...
Electronic mail. Mail sent electronically.
Interesting.
Now, this email says, Ron, it's a very exciting time. A milestone has been reached. Ron Bennington, and this is over at Whackbag. Whackbag.com, the Ron and Fez threads. Ron Bennington's line of the day has hit 1,000 posts now. And then, and by the way, that thing, Anthony turned me on to this. I had no idea of it. They'll take certain lines and they'll just say, this is a line from the show that I like. I hate to say it, but I think you're only picking up about 10% of the lines. I mean, I'm unbelievably honored that somebody would do this. But 1,000 posts? Come on. You got to be kidding me. Because I'm fucking chucking them out there at all times. Whackbag, by the way, they sent me this beautiful cowbell. Can you read it, Fez?
Let me read it from there. Eastside Dave sucks at life.
Yeah. And, shit. That's because it's not your birthday anymore. And I just... Be careful with it. That's for today, and this is for yesterday's. There you go.
Wow, a makeup cowbell.
Now, he told... now, Milkman Dan did something very interesting. He set this out. He gave me a board report to let us know how all the boards go. And it's almost like when you look at the big map up there on the nation, you can see whether it's red or blue. And let us know which way boards go. The whackbag.com is the pro-Ron board out there. They lean a little towards me. They like some of my humor. RonFez.net, pro-Fez.
Oh, okay.
And I wouldn't even say so much pro-Fez, but anti-Ron. And I really feel like back in the old days when we had Jeff, it was a pro-Ron and Fez board. Now it's almost anti-everything on the show, but I will agree they are very pro-Fez. So all the pro-Fez people out there are at ronfez.net. Post Tours is pro-show. They pop into the show, and their problem is they seem like to only talk about the show and things they like and dislike. They don't make it personal. There's no personal attacks like someone should die. They don't wish diseases on anyone. It's really about people that seem to like to talk about the show, so it's very confusing to read.
And they kind of stay on the show as a topic. They don't kind of meander off things that don't have to do with the show.
A little narrow.
And then opieandanthony.net, they seem to be pro-show. Thank you very much. And FBA, that's full-blown AIDS, they are pro-self-promotion. So their thing is they're more pro-FBA. And that's the one that you belong to.
That's mine, yeah. That's the good one. That's, you know, the one that really is...
Because you were a RonFez.net guy when we met you.
Yeah, I was.
You were there for how long?
I mean, technically I'm still there, but yeah, since May 2002 is when I signed up.
And when did you become a mod there?
Never. Yeah, that's the problem.
Hard to believe.
Yeah. And it's because maybe FBA sees the real potential in me and my mod powers. But the thing I love about FBA, and this is, you know, in all real seriousness, it does have a great vibe that it was similar to RonFez.net circa 2002, 2003.
When everybody used to be positive and cool.
Yeah, how about just being happy? How about just being, you know, digging everything and
not hating every song Earl picks out,
F
or
this, and
yeah,
this guy's
or
a twat,
get Dave off
fat,
the show,
Being furious if Sheepy gets to come in.
Yeah,
a lot of appearance stuff. You know, the photos are on the internet. Just a bad, a dark cloud is over RonFez.net right now.
But FBA doesn't feel that way.
FBA is just pots of gold and leprechauns. It really.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, okay, Mr. B. What it means is it's joy. It feels great to be there. It really does. It feels like sitting on a fresh lawn after it was cut on a Saturday morning. You know, just having a picnic with your pals.
I've never done that.
Well,
I have fucking friends, but if me and my friends ever sat down and had a picnic together, I'd be afraid everyone's going to start sucking each other's cock.
Well,
which maybe is what you're over after.
No. There's maybe an element of that, but but the main point is the vibe, the goodness.
I totally agree with Eastside Dave because
really, Pitsy, the star of the day.
Because I recently joined and they took me in with open arms. And
really?
Yeah, definitely. Because I used to be on Whackbag and it was all just so negative.
Ooh, gosh,
so negative. But the people at FBA are
love
amazing.
Whackbag because they have that fabulous post of the day. The only thing I'm going to say is, line of the day. Really stay on top of this thing because it really. I don't think you're catching a lot of them. I think you're missing a lot of lines.
No, being a better name for Whackbag, moanandgroan.com. Because it's all it is. And RonFez.net could be called Pissy.
Now, the other night when we were out at
Pissy.net,
all of a sudden there's Norton. He's signing up. The other night you introduced me to a lot of your FBA buddies.
Yep, absolutely.
And I will have to admit this. There were a lot of nice people, a lot of fun people.
Yeah. They're really cool over there. They're cool. See, the thing is, they're cool online and offline. They're actually real human beings, like the Happy Typing Girl, the Schnitz, you know, all those people, Flea, and all those people. You know, it's a better brand of people, higher class.
And Pitsy, you feel the same?
Yeah, I mean,
they were mean to you at RonFez.net too, or Whackbag they were mean to you?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago though. That turned me off to message boards altogether, and then I decided to get back into it, and I just love them now.
Because you have problems spelling, and then people make fun of you.
See, that should never turn a young boy off of the internet.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is, you know. And you can you can misspell words on FBA. Not everyone's going to.
Obviously, you're going to. Hanging around with that crowd.
He misspelled FBA.
And they won't ram it down your throat. Ramming.
All right, you okay now?
I feel better
Supermod?
having that off my chest. Thanks, Mr. B.
I also like it because Dave has my back in case anything happens there.
What?
Yeah.
I've never done any of this in my life, so I don't know.
Yeah. Just, it affects the way you sleep at night when people are like, that guy's the biggest prick and unfunny asshole, you know, whether it's me or Pitts, the attacks.
All right, do you agree with the assumption that I got from Milkman Dan that it's ronfez.net, pro-Fez, anti-Ron?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yes, I do. You know, Fez is the cuddly, adorable teddy bear over there, and
right, and I'm
Ron's developed into
an asshole.
I don't want to speak for ronfez.net because I can't anymore. They won't let me.
Right.
But you're a bit of the ghoul who's pushing the teddy bear like into a river. I mean, I'm not saying that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
I think you guys are both great.
When would a ghoul push a teddy bear into the river?
You know, in fairy tales.
This is some fucked up fairy tale.
But you catch my drift. And then on Whackbag, sure, Ron is God, and I'm not sure they care for Fez at all. I think, you know, he's just...
What did I ever do to that? Here's what I like about FBA. They seem to like themselves.
Yeah, why not?
They are really more involved in their own lives than ours. And that is like just a breath of fresh air.
Hey, if you're going to feel good in life, you got to feel good about who you are.
Yeah.
And we feel good, and we feel confident when we look ourselves in the mirror at FBA.
Now, I try to check in with all the sites every once in a while. Post stores, you really need more infighting. You need more infighting because so much of your stuff is really a reflection on the show. And then the Ron and Fez show.net, that's off opieandanthony.net, I guess?
Yeah, but I'm not sure that's even there anymore. I think pretty much that went into a subcategory of opieandanthony.net.
Okay, thank you. So that one is pretty cool because that seems like Dr. Steve hangs out there.
Yeah.
So I'll salute them for that.
That's a hip place.
Hip?
But no one is as cool as FBA.
They were very anti-Fez.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they had the Fez is a liar page on there.
That's just facts. They put the facts.
But why point it out?
What were you lying about?
Oh, I mean...
Everything?
Yeah, anything and everything, according to them. And then Dr. Steve tried to do a Fez ain't so bad page to kind of counteract it.
Dude, I remember when you weren't reading before. All right, what is your favorite Fez? So you go out and you read them now, right?
Yeah, actually, the Whack Bag is the one where I've seen more positive things.
For Fez?
Not so much Fez, but the show in general. Well, like I go to ronfez.net.
Yeah.
And then I'll read some of those listening threads, then go to Whackbag and compare them.
Yeah.
And it's like it's two different people listening to the show sometimes.
Well, it is. They're going to have different people listening.
Or like two different shows they're listening to.
Okay,
that's what I meant.
So,
I'm not lying.
So, what is the big difference?
Where it's like ronfez.net will just pick apart and be furious about anything and everything. Where Whackbag will try to jump in a little bit more.
Oh, you guys take it a little more personal. I'll go, if I read that stuff, I'll go like this. Well, what do they know about radio? But if then it's positive, I'll go like this. This is brilliant. I really, feel like the show's coming through. So I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I only let positive things in. But if I go over to any of those shows, any of those sites, they write negative things about O&A or Norton or, you know, any of the comics they come in. And being able to read that to be able to go, well, that is a crazy fucking statement. You're not taking it as a personal when it's not about yourself. You know, you could read it and go, well, this person obviously doesn't understand radio. But when it's about you, then your fucking feelings get hurt.
Yeah, like if I'm scrolling through some of the posts and I just see the letters F-E-Z, I cringe before I even read it.
Why do you worry?
Because those are people, and you know, and I want people to like me.
But then why go and read those things if you can't, you know, take a stand back from? I mean, you don't want people to love everything there is about the show. Because I'll tell you the truth, on this show, it's not always for you people. We're not trying to get Arbitron Diaries in our life right now. Some of this should be just fucking around and trying to, you know, do stuff that's a little different than we used to do. And everyone's not supposed to like it.
That's true. It's the attitude I should keep in my mind.
You want people to write, oh my God, that Fez. Oh my God, is he something else?
That would be nice.
He's genius.
I write that on FBA. I write stuff like that.
So, RonFez.net thinks I'm a ghoul pushing a teddy bear into a lake.
Yeah. Maybe you take advantage, or maybe you pick on him a little bit unnecessarily. Again, I'm just speaking for the way I view RonFez.net.
Okay. So they think that I pick on Fez.
I think that's their view, is that, yeah, sometimes a little salty towards him. I don't see it. Again, this is my
Maybe
opinion.
there is something to that, and I should go back and maybe change my behavior. You know, this is the weird thing about radio, is like you don't always get the feedback. It's like when you do stand-up, I had written jokes before that I thought were fucking killer. I go out there and fucking do them, and if the fucking room isn't going, I go, I need to make some adjustments because I know there's a funny idea here. In radio, you can't be the sole fucking person who acts like, oh, I did this bit today and it killed.
Well, I see what you're saying, but, you know, if you say you have positive reviews
But
other places.
It's not personal because they don't really know me. They don't know Fez. They don't know you. So all they are talking about is the fact that they're listening to the show. You know what I mean? It's just one person's opinion of what they think of the show. Go to any fucking board out there, and everybody thinks that they should be the fucking GM of the Yankees. They should be running the WWE. Every board is the same way of, like, fucking know-it-alls. What you don't realize is a lot of these fucking places, it's kids right there. So what the hell? You wouldn't listen to them in real life.
Yeah, but, you know, human beings don't have thick skin. I mean, we bleed easily. And
what?
I bleed.
You don't bleed by what anybody writes.
No, but, I mean, I'm bleeding on the inside when I see something bad on the board.
So you have eternal bleeding. Is what you're saying. You have got...
not coming out right.
I tell you, I'd rip him. Rip this fucker for what he said today. But what I'm trying to say is this. You say your FBA buddies.
Yeah.
Don't like me throwing a cowbell at you.
No, not
They think it goes too far.
Yes.
Now, let me see.
Okay.
To me, it's kind of funny, and to me, it's the only real jokes you get on the show.
I would post positively about that.
Yeah. But if I'm wrong, you know, maybe we'll put a thread up somewhere and we'll get a little feedback about it.
I think you are wrong about that.
See, the thing is, maybe it's from doing fucking stand-up before. I know what it's like to fucking go into an audience of fucking idiots, have them fucking yell shit, and know that they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's not... Sometimes people aren't in the mood to talk about what you want to talk about. But you can't hold on to this whole thing like it's precious.
I don't know. I think, I mean, if you read something, it sticks with you.
Yes, but you got a lot going for you. All right,
Yeah?
Dave? Forget what happens on the show.
Okay.
You live in a basement in Queens. You got red hair. Fucking see-through skin. You let a dog lick your balls.
Yeah, this isn't helping.
There's plenty for you to care about for yourself.
Yeah.
You fucking live the life of a 9-year-old. Hey, you got a debit card. Fucking remember that. You're walking around with a debit card in your fucking wallet. You think these guys are?
Yeah, I'm a little...
Feel proud of yourself. But, you know, but what I'm saying to you too, Fez, if the fucking Yankees lose, right?
Right.
Their fans are going to write they suck. That's just the fucking nature of the game. They don't go, you know what, they suck today, but yesterday were good. That's just the fucking thing. I don't even think it's that personal when people write this shit.
I gotta disagree with you there for a second.
Yeah.
I hate Yankee fans who are that quick to fire, judgmental type people. Like, it's a long season. Radio show is it's a long season for radio shows too. And if a team, even if a team's on like a 3-game losing streak, it's not jump in the water, fucking fire Joe Torre and do everything like that.
But some people are going to be that way. Not all the fans, but some of the fans are.
Speaking as a Yankee fan, the same people that'll boo A-Rod if he strikes out 3 times, the next day, the first at bat of the first game, hey!
And that's my point.
And I'm going to give you this with Fez. He always said he was a Bucks fan. He says a lot of negative things about his team, about how many times have you wanted to coach fired. You don't always even mean it. But that's just your way of fucking spitting things out.
Right. I just want them to be good.
Right.
So I'm not easy on them.
But you don't mean it personally.
No.
People would love to see you come back and start doing comedy again. They would love it.
I have come back. I am doing comedy again.
I mean on the air.
I am. I'm right here on the air.
I know you're here.
See, when I root for...
Is this the goal thing, pushing teddy bear? Is this what they hate?
Oh, boy.
There's the river.
It's not even slightly funny. It's as old as comedy itself.
Yeah, I know. A little rough, maybe, is all.
Mo was a little rough on Curly. That's the fucking act, you idiots. What, do you want to watch the Three Stooges and Mo never hits Curly with a tire iron? We got no fucking show if that happens. I know that. They don't. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's why I don't take it personal when they say that shit.
All right. But, like we're talking about sports teams, just root for the team. Root for it.
Here was the thing. There was a time with RonFez.net when they had the kid. What was the kid's name that started it?
Jeff. Country Music Jeff.
No, it was Jeff, and then he had that partner. It was a really sweet kid. The kid that was in the music business. I can't believe we can't remember his name right now.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He had left before I got there, but I know who you're talking about.
Great fucking kid. We all used to do parties with them, blah, blah, blah. They would call the show. They didn't know how to fucking sit back on their heels, and they weren't judgmental. Instead of that being on a listening thread, they would be calling in shit, adding to the show. They would have chat rooms talking about shit. If a sheepy would come on the show, they would all get behind it. The fucking thing is, times have changed. Attitudes in the country has changed. You're like fucking people going, oh, I'm Chubby Checker. I want to stay with the twist. This fucking Beatles music is crazy. People don't do that anymore. People are more negative. Has nothing to do with you or me or anything else. They've changed. So we adjust and go differently. That's all.
I mean, if people are so negative, if you hate something so much, why are you listening? Why are you writing about it? What
do you care? It's just happening. You think that somehow your actions can make other people change. It's not going to happen that way. You're the one that has to adapt, not them. So either you guys can't read those boards because you get your feelings hurt, or you read them and you take things out of them that you think fucking help you, and the things that don't, you fucking shit can them. You let them go.
It wouldn't be bad if it was like eBay, where you could tell if it's positive or negative feedback, where they actually mark it.
This stuff is never personal. Turtle, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
You son of a bitch.
Hey, guys, when we write about the show, it's because we love the show.
Oh, thank
we
you.
love Ron and Fez, and you guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
When we say that we hate Dave, it's because we do, and he sucks.
Huh. Interesting.
Of course. Typical whack bag. No. Just leave. Just flee the scene. Just hit and run. O.J. Simpson, leave the fucking glove at the door. Get in the Bronco with A.C. Cowens and flee the whole fucking thing. The fucking copters are watching you on FBA. You're on every news network on FBA. You fucking asshole. Ban him. Ban him.
Ban him from what?
From FBA, from everything.
He doesn't post there. Here's the thing. Not one of your metaphors made sense.
It made
and that's what
sense.
They should be writing. They shouldn't be writing anything else other than the fact that you don't know what you're talking about. All right, here's my little Frenchie. Hey, Frenchie.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. It was good to see you on Halloween.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know it was Carter that was with
Carter.
That's it.
Yeah, I haven't talked to that kid for years. He was a really, really nice kid.
He was a great kid. Yeah,
And
I remember
rich.
when he went to college. Yeah, and rich. Yeah, rich and nice.
Well, he started his own record label with Brooklyn bands. He's doing very well for himself.
Really?
Of course, I'd be doing very well for myself if my father was vice president of fucking major corporations. Life isn't all that hard. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, he lives up in Connecticut in some fucking mansion, his dad. I could tell you the corporation. It's Fortune, I'm not even going to fucking hint at it. Because he always wanted to keep that to himself.
Big company.
Oh, gigantic. One of probably the top 10 of all time.
Wow.
And right up to the height. All right, thank you, Frenchie.
All right. Love you. See you.
And Frenchie?
Yes.
I don't want to hear about you being bad on that Pal Talk anymore.
I'm not bad on the Pal Talk.
I got a couple reports about you and your boyfriend doing a couple things on there, and I don't think it's right.
No. That's not on Pal Talk.
I don't know. I'm telling you the reports I get. I want you to be a good girl.
That was at Flash Dancers after the Halloween party.
All right, honey.
Love you. Bye.
There's always indoors. It should all take place indoors. And I'm on to you too, Irish Yalky. I'm on to you too. I'm going to get these reports. I know what happens. All right, look who it is, Bobby Pantera.
Oh, great.
Bobby, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What do you say?
I just wanted to stick up for Ron Fez.net. These are the people that have been with Ron and Fez through the many time changes of WNEW have been...
All right, you know something, Bobby? This would all mean a lot more if you stopped trying to steal Earl's girlfriend away from him. Earl brings a girl to the party, and you fucking stuck to her like flies on shit. Did you see it, Pitsy?
Definitely.
Earl, now, how can you say you're pro fucking the show when our producer brings a really pretty white girl to a party and you won't leave her alone all night? I got my reports out there. I'm watching all you fucking people.
What are you talking about, man? Earl was barely hanging out with her. We were having
because of you. Earl is not competitive.
All that commotion was going on with the pocketbook, and he just kept talking to her like nothing was going on. It was right next to him, too.
Yeah, you're a fucking hero, Bobby P.
What would you like me to do? There was like 35 big, humongous black guys in it.
Jump into the fray.
At the end of the night, I was out there helping out Alki at the end of the night when he was trying to get into a fight.
That's woman's work, what you were doing. You got to do this, Bobby. Leave his girl alone. It's making him crazy, then that makes us crazy.
No problem. There's nothing going on anyway, man. Don't worry about it.
She came there with him.
And not because of you. The fact you got shot down has nothing to do with it.
I never tried. What are you talking about?
Oh, please.
Oh, please.
I get my reports. So, take that back to ronfez.net.
No. These are people that have been with the show forever.
Not all of them, according to Dave. And Dave has been on the thing for a long time, and he says there's a lot of new people that are negative.
As long as Dave is. And Dave has no idea. This is where he found his first love. True. This is where, he got a part of the show through ronfez.net. He should give us a little more credit than that.
Wait a second. I actually was a huge fan of the show, and Jersey Rich, tricked me into joining ronfez.net, but despite that, you would have to admit that there's so many, as we call them in the biz, Ronnie, newbies at ronfez.net. There are, Bobby, right?
There's still the diehards.
We always love the diehards, but all these newbies are taking over, and the diehards, a lot of times don't, say, hey, shut the fuck up, or the diehards have to shut these bitches down. At FBA, we do that. We handle our things in-house.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I will agree with that, because we had a young lady who was on the show not too long ago, and there was a mean thread written about her. Dave showed it to me.
Yes.
And you said to me, I go, well, this is fucking negative. And you said, the thing that pisses you off is, where are the people that used to protect the friends of the show on these message boards?
Someone should have had her back. And I think, we know who it is. And there was nothing there. It was just people attack and this and that.
Well, we let the people say what they have to say, and then, you know what? We will get a little more censored, but still, we want people to feel free to talk about what they want to talk about, and have you guys realize that these are the people that are listening to your show.
But you can't write mean things about women. We never fucking would do that before, Bobby.
We never did allow that before.
And now it is. Now it's that way.
Now it's par for the course.
But it's not just. I'm not.
Now
where did that stand?
Where did that come from?
Because I've read posts. I read.
And it's par for the course?
Yes, now that's a nice post, a positive post, is the exception to the rule.
And that's the Pro-Fez page.
Well, we love Fez, we love Ron, we love Dave, believe it or not, and we love the show.
But you know what? Be nice to women. It's fucking wrong to write, somebody's a whore, I'd fuck her, she's not fuckable. It's fucking wrong. And it was always a classy fucking place.
You're right. We always did have a big protection over the girls, and I'm going to take it up with the rest of the staff. And
there you go. That's all that can be said. That's very nice something to say.
All right, that's good, buddy. But again, it's not just about deleting or something. It's old schoolers should shut these newbies up. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. And we've got the return of the blowhard recently.
Good.
Posting, and we've got return of a lot of the old school fans that have been there since day one, Ron. And we all love you guys, and we wish you would give us a little more credit than what you're letting Dave do to us here.
I'm only letting Dave talk.
Bobby, maybe if you made Dave a mod, some of the stuff wouldn't happen.
That's a very good point.
Well, Dave, I don't know. He needs to post something a little more something that could be read in a professional
All right, so he's
way.
not good enough for you.
Look at this.
And FBA welcomed this fucking idiot with open arms. I give them credit for that.
No elitism in FBA. It's the fucking Statue of Liberty, baby.
You know why? Because FBA wants the plugs in the show that they're using.
And they're
not using
You know
me.
what? Even if they are, if it makes this fucking mongoloid happy, I think that they are taking themselves less serious, and I think that's like a fucking good thing.
And that's like when a guy says, "Hey, she's using you for sex." What guy doesn't want fucking sex? So FBA's treating me kindly because they're using me. Great. I love being used then. I love getting a pat on the back every once in a while. I'm really used. Damn it, RonFez.net.
Oh, well, Dave, how about we let you just post at any time? How about that? That's a good thing. You can have that.
Never doing you a favor.
Par for the course is what they are.
That's them.
Of course, that's right.
I love you, Bobby. I love a lot of people, but you gotta shut the people down and get the good vibe back. Otherwise, it's gonna continue to slip, and then you might as well call yourselves whackbagpart2.net.
Oh, David, don't say that, please.
I'm telling you, it's heading there. The train's heading there, Bobby.
Please. Well, listen, RonFez.net loves the show, loves Dave, loves Ron, loves Fez, and I just want to say that what you're saying here will be taken into consideration.
All right, I just went over and looked at the thing here. There's a listing thread. Here's Mikey Boy. Dave is talking out of his ass, and then Milkman Dan. Crap, I didn't know he was going to read that on the air. So I thought, I actually loved it. I thought it was a good thing. I'm the only one. I haven't complained about any attacks on me. I haven't complained about any attacks on the air. What I don't like is personal attacks on some of the guests, particularly the girls.
Absolutely right.
But even like if a fucking John Mayer or Jay Moore, they have their own people, they have their own PR people and all. And if they'll go back and read these things, they'll go, I'm not going to fucking put my guy on that show anymore because, it's a negative fucking place. Believe it or not, anybody who ever does our show, their PR people always go and look at RonFez.net first.
Right,
particularly because they'll just put up Ron and Fez. So whether you like it or not, you do represent the fact. And it used to happen more that we would get turned down. Since Earl, it happens less and less because you'll actually send them things, right, Earl?
Yeah, occasionally. I'll send them stuff, and then they'll...
But before Earl, we would have, like, political people and stuff like that who were ready to do the show. Then they would go back and read it, and they would go, this is a fucking... a porn site.
Right, well,
they would think that we were shock jocks.
Right.
Well, this is like information that we could have like had in before this conversation. And,
no, but I mean this went on for years and years and years.
Well, we still didn't know about this stuff.
Yeah,
Ron says
because I never once told you guys what to do with the fucking site, or said
we're not gonna like bow down to you guys, but we're still gonna listen.
But not only, but Bobby, not only that, you guys have things up there that doesn't belong to you that have belonged to CBS or XM, and I always fought. We used to fight JFK constantly to leave stuff up on the air, up on this site. So it's not like I never once tried to tell you guys what to do. The only negative thing I ever felt is the stuff that was anti-girls that do the show, and I got that from Dave. I didn't see it myself.
You're right. That is something that we always have dealt with in the past, and it will be looked at a lot more careful this time. Now that we know about these things, and you in the past, like when you've had all the girls on all the time constantly, we've always protected the girls.
That was the Carter days. That was when everything was a party, where we would have turn around at WNEW and there'd be 100 people in our fucking in our waiting room just to fucking hang out and have fun in the green room drinking, and then nobody would get attacked because obviously some girls are different than other girls. Whatever. Why be fucking negative?
But I was taking care of the board back then too, man, and I was the one always on top of the people and coming into the show.
Look how he takes it personal, rather than just it's all about Bobby. But you're saying we shouldn't take it personal.
No, because this is something that I take pride in in Ron Fez. And that's something that I love being a part of. And when I hear that you guys are not you're not satisfied with what we're doing, I take it kind of personally.
I have no problem with it at all. I have zero problem. I told you my only problem, and that's to attack people other than me and Fez. You know what I mean? Particularly girls. All right, buddy.
You're absolutely right.
Talk to you later.
All right, well, listen, I just wanted to mention one more thing. I talked to Carter very recently, and he has a new band, and he's going to have a big tour coming out very soon. So you guys should stay on top of that as well. He's doing very good for himself.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys.
Boy, I didn't expect that to turn negative.
Awkward.
A lot of backpedaling, in my opinion.
And that's just the Pro Fez place.
Yeah, see, I never saw it as all that pro Fez. I mean, Milkman Dan, I guess he researches it a little bit more than I do, but I never found it all that pro Fez.
Dave felt that way. They call me the mean ghoul pushing a teddy bear into a lake.
I think that's a proper analogy, and yeah, that's the way it is.
I don't think it is. I don't think it makes any sense.
I don't think
First of all, a teddy bear's not going to drown.
Can't swim, though. No question.
So what? It's not even alive. He's going to float.
Well, I was talking about a living teddy bear. I think we all knew that.
There's no such thing as a living teddy bear.
Well, in the land of make-believe with ghouls and everything.
Not even like a teddy ruxpin.
Teddy bears come alive.
So it's like Teddy Bear's Picnic.
Sure it is.
All right. Blowhard, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys. First of all, Carter, his record label, really, really good new music. It's dovecoatrecords.com. That's DOVECOTE.com. He's starting his own little startup label down in the Village. He's signing some pretty huge acts, and they're getting picked up by some majors. The kid is a talent and a half. I mean, this guy is the future of music. So definitely check out Carter's site, dovecoatrecords.com. Getting back to the message board, I was there at ronfez.net in the early days, and it used to be just about liking each other and having a good time. And what Bobby was saying, I mean, the guy's passionate about it. It was a fan site. And it wasn't the venom, and it wasn't this hatred.
Right.
And, I laugh at it. I take it. I get emails from people, you suck, you're a fucking ancient geezer. And I don't care. It's just the Internet. It's not real life. But the venom and attacking the women, it just turned the whole thing around. And I just don't understand how Dave can get upset by it, because if you get under their skin, Dave, you've done your job. They're taking time to write about you. How pathetic are those people who are bashing you, that they have to spend times out of their wonderful lives to attack you?
Well, I mean, I don't look at it like that. I just look at it
as... You should look at it that way, because they care. You're getting them annoyed, and...
I don't want to get people annoyed. I think that's...
Why? Who gives a fuck? They care. It's good for radio. You're getting attention for the show. If somebody writes about you and takes time to email you, what does that say about them? Look at it that way.
Well, it's a positive outlook.
Maybe you should spend some time with Blowhard.
I think I will, because I wish more people at roundfez.net were...
It used to be a site where
clear-headed
people actually liked each other, and you got the good core people, like you got Bobby P, and you got GVAC, and you got Mikey Boy, and some, and John, and all these good people. And, I've made some friends, but the problem was it just got so venomous, and it just got so... And it's mostly guys now anyway. The chicks mostly vanished because it was becoming just a ridiculous site where people would just write about, jerking off and, just stuff that has nothing to do with your radio show.
You should pay attention to Blowhard, because he was on the Jack Benny site when that started to turn negative.
That's true. Ever since Rock...
that's the stuff that hurts. And that's par for the course out of you, Teddy Bear.
On NEW,
Teddy Bear. What makes you so huggable and lovable, and I'm the fucking mean person all the time?
You're never the mean person. I don't know where that comes from.
Dave told me.
Roundfez.net. That was my source.
What about FBA? They told you to beat me up.
Yeah, I've never seen attacks on Ron.
That's true.
That board is a shrine to you, Mr. Bennington. That board is a shrine. It always was. And even back at NEW days, I mean, it was just, hey, how you doing? A new person joined. That board mushroomed. It was like maybe 30, 40 people in the beginning, and then it just exploded. And now that you guys gone national, it should still be a place where people actually like the show. It's a fan site, and people can basically get along.
Well, yeah. All right, Blowhard, good stuff there.
Excuse me?
Good stuff. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, guys, have a good day. And Dave, hang in there, man.
Thank you, Blow.
I didn't know it was all going to go this far, and I do want to apologize to Milkman Dan if he thought he was writing me something in confidence, and it got blown up that much. But, again, Fez, you shouldn't read any of it.
Yeah, I should probably just stay away.
You're sensitive.
I am very sensitive. Always have been. Sensitive child, always.
We're going to back into the way your mom used to yell at you?
No. I mean, it didn't have to be her for me to be sensitive.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It could be neighborhood kids, school kids, any of it.
That thing on your eye is not healing.
No, this won't. I cut myself last Saturday.
Shaving your eyeball.
Yeah, my eye socket. And we're almost at a week now. And yeah, it is no better. And every now and then it pops open again and starts bleeding all over again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe you talk to your doctor about getting off the blood thinners.
I did last time I was in there.
Yeah.
He said no. He said that blood's still probably a little too thick to be going through that stent.
Really?
Yeah. So he wants to keep... I should be off of them by now. He wanted to keep me on another 6 months.
Because you have to be able to heal, right? Something a human should want to do.
That would be nice.
I don't want you to stub your toe and bleed to death and die. Rat, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, does Dave know that bears are excellent swimmers?
Oh, yeah, that is true, Dave. Dave's seen polar bears like 100 miles off the fucking coast, just swimming around out there eating fish.
Not teddy bears, though. They've had easy lives their whole life. They haven't had to do any labor.
In your analogy, a ghoul is pushing me back to my natural environment.
No.
So that doesn't seem so bad.
Teddy bears have been coddled. They don't know how to swim. They're used to lying on beds.
Hey, Stryker, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, Dave, you got pissed off this turtle hung up when he talked to you. So I'm a whackbag poster, and I'm one of the ones who doesn't like you on whackbag. So what do you want to challenge us on? I won't run away from you. I'm here. Now, address it.
What do you... I have no challenge. I just want to simply state...
That's just it. You have no challenge. You're not liked on whackbag. There's actually a lot of people on FBA who don't like you, but you go in there and you chase them away now. You have the ability.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
What? Dug out Doug put in a clause, the Eastside Dave clause, and it's if you badmouth me and you violate that clause, you will be banned from the board. And sure, I'm going to ban Mudflap for 10 days for violating Eastside Dave.
Why should people want to be part of FBA if they're not going to let us criticize the whole damn show in every aspect?
You can criticize me on Whackbag. Criticize me on Whackbag. Criticize Earl, criticize the opening music, criticize chicks, criticize everything, criticize fucking diseases.
For criticizing you.
Disease should be criticized.
It's a one-sided, ignorant site. And I post on both sites, and I'll tell you, I haven't posted on FBA in a long time because of that.
Good. You're not welcome in Happyville. You're not welcome where we are.
Hey,
Positive land.
Dave, I understand you're the mayor.
Even your phone call is negative. Fuck! Can you guys get happy? Smoke some pot. Drink.
Dave, you're the mayor of Fantown, right?
You guys are so fucking miserable. Listen to you. Hey, Dave. I challenge you. Just fucking
Dave,
relax.
You're the one getting pissed off. We're not.
I'm not pissed off, sir.
Fun. You're getting all pissed off because we're having fun. You know what? People on Blackback pick on Norton all the time. There's people who don't like Norton. Big deal. Jimmy takes it.
I'm sitting here taking it, aren't I? You're calling, you're talking to me.
Yes, you're taking it. You know what? I don't see Norton come on there requesting people get banned from Whackbag or from FBA for picking on him. But if somebody gives you a
I'm a stickler for the rules. If Dugout Doug puts the Eastside Dave clause is violated, I'm the moderator of it. I have to go by what Dugout Doug did.
FBA's got a problem with having you as a moderator.
All right, I'm going to just step in one thing, and it's way too inside. All the moderator thing is, most of us don't do any of this. Most of us don't post listen to the show. But I appreciate you calling, buddy. I think we all spoke out whatever needed to be talked about.
Yes.
I'll just go through this right now. RonFez.net, Pro Fez. Whackbag, Pro Ron. PostTours.net, Pro Show. OpenAnthony.net, Pro Show. And FBA, Pro Self-Promotion. I don't have any problem with that. I think that's good all the way through.
So I guess FBA.
Yeah, I know.
That's all I have to say.
Pitsy, who do you pick?
I got to stick with FBA also.
Wow. Earl?
I'm going with any site that's Pro Show.
There you go.
Nice, Earl.
He's always the way. And Fez?
Whackbag.
What about yours? KidTouchers.com. You still go there at all?
I try not to post because they can...
Pushing it in! Pushing the teddy bear in!
I'm drowning.
Right back, Ron and Fez.
Ronnie. Fezzy. The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
We're back with the Ron and Fez Show. 866-RON-0-FEZ. That's 866-766-0339. Or you can always email us at ronandfez@AOL.com.
Hey, Fez, I want to thank Chris from Englishtown, New Jersey. Some nice cigars. Nice cigars sent to him.
Very nice.
Very, very kind.
That is kind when people take time to stop and think. That's positive.
It's not the stopping and thinking I like, Fezzy. It's when they send cigars. Stopping and thinking means nothing to me.
The gossip pages are saying that it's Ryan Felipe was split.
What is his last name?
Felipe is the way I've always said it.
I've heard it Felipe. It's
Philippe.
Yeah, it's the first time I think people are paying attention to him. This has been a great career move for him.
Yeah, so they said his split with Reese Witherspoon is because he was cheating with an Australian actress named Abby Cornish. So apparently this being Ryan's fault. Being a member of Team Reese, I should have seen this coming. This kid didn't know how good he had it. This no talent.
Well, you could still have it good if she just stayed with him. I consider... Who's the one who filed, him or her?
She did, I think.
Well, then I can't blame him. She's the one who gave up on it.
Yeah, but he was the one who caused this divorce.
How did he cause it?
He was stepping out on her. He was cheating on her.
He was on the road at the time. It's not like he brought her home. The kids were there.
So this is a picture of the Abby Cornish, the Australian actress.
Now, see, any wife should look that over and thought to himself, he had the opportunity, why wouldn't he?
She's kind of got kind of a Reese look about her.
When? In fucking 84? Because...
And who's to say she was home? She's always off shooting movies. What if he was home with the kids and he got a little lonely? Hey, things happen.
Let's not make a big deal about it, Reese. Let's move on.
I am just totally on Team Reese, and this kid is never going to be heard from again. That's what I love about this. Go off with your little Australian actress like you're going to be able to coattail her into any sort of career.
You know that he already has 5 movies done. That's being a major fucking actor when you got 5 in the can.
And they're talking about him for an Oscar for Flags of Our Fathers.
Wow. He's got my vote, even though I haven't seen it.
That if he wins that may be my last time watching the Oscars. I just won't be able to take it anymore.
What if he's nominated?
I'll still watch. And then cringe the whole way through, wondering if they're going to announce his name and how they're going to pronounce it. Prince has signed a deal to perform at the Rio in Vegas every weekend starting November 10th. So, and that's like...
For how long?
It's an indefinite contract.
Wow.
He starts November 10th and just stays there at the Rio.
All right, this is the fucking aging problem when you're seeing our bands are just playing Vegas.
It makes you wonder what performer going on tour now is eventually going to become a Vegas act. And I could see
Prince. He fucking has major albums and tours. I think it was his tour 2 years ago, the biggest tour of the year, or last year?
The Musicology tour did gangbusters.
Was that 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, that was 2004.
But, to me, it's the smartest move in the world. You stay at home and let the audience come to you. I don't see how any performer could turn that down. It's got to be 1,000,000 times better than being on the road. You buy a house in Vegas... and you work for different people every night. Sounds great.
Celine Dion's doing it. I think Cher was doing it for a while.
Yes, and before that, Frank Sinatra, and went on and on and on.
Yeah, Elton John just signed a deal. I think he's
been doing it for 5 years. But the point is I don't even see why anybody wouldn't want to do it.
I could see Britney ending up doing that down the road.
The problem is this, Fez, you act like they show up for everyone. They don't. You have to be appealing. The thing about Prince that works, he's going to appeal to the 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds who show up in Vegas with the most money. And then also the kids will show up. So the thing with Britney is, will she still have an audience years down the road? That isn't a fucking guarantee.
I could see a band like Aerosmith doing it. Some of the big name rock bands like an Aerosmith or even a U2 I could see definitely doing a Vegas.
I can't see U2 staying in Vegas, only because of their whole gimmick, of going around and spreading the good word. But a band that still has to work some amount, I can't imagine not wanting to do it.
And the money's great. The money's amazing.
Yeah, the money's amazing, and you're not getting on a plane every day. It's going to be terrific.
The NBA season is underway. You guys got a radio psychic who's going to win it all as we start the season?
I'll throw the Suns out there yet again. I throw them out every single year.
I'll go with the Mavericks beating the Cavaliers in the finals.
Like if Dave is so mad. That's his team every year.
That was my team, but I guess they're going to lose now. So,
Hey.
Fuck
it, I'll go Lakers. They won yesterday.
I still like the Heat because Shaq and Wade is still Dwayne Wade might be the best all-around player in the game right now, and you can't stop the guy. You can't stop him. There's still no answer for Shaq. None at all.
The thing is, we don't even have to pay attention for another 6 months. Now we don't even have to talk about basketball again until 6 months because everybody just about makes the playoffs, and it just doesn't matter. The season can be thrown out. The only people not making the playoffs will be the Sixers and Cavs.
The Knicks.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't I not think of the Knicks?
They blew a 19-point lead, and then they had to go to triple overtime to win their game last night.
A new report in the American Journal of Psychiatry says that major depression often goes away after patients have tried at least 4 different antidepressant drugs and drug combos. So the answer to this is just more pills? Yeah, if you're depressed, you haven't taken enough pills yet?
Well, I guess they're talking about major depression, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, they said that you really have to keep trying the pills until something finally works for you. Now, when I took antidepressants, I took plenty of pills, plenty of different kinds of pills. Nothing ever worked for me.
Not even your dick.
Well, that wasn't really a pill. But
I'm saying when you start to take all those pills, you can't fuck anymore. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Okay, hey guys, just want to say hello, and Earl, you got to be high. Shaquille O'Neal is old, my man. The Heat, they've got one really excellent player that will never win a championship that way.
Bro, they only had one excellent player last year, and they won the championship.
Yeah, you know what? They were less than 3 minutes away. A lot of bad calls away from being down 3-0. Do you think they would have won, Ron?
But the fact is, they did win. They were there at the end, and they won. You got to give it to them.
And then the Heat did something that most teams don't do anymore. They play defense in big games.
Defense is something I was talking to my best friend about, Walt Frazier. You got to play that D to win the championship. Jim, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you, pal? Go ahead, Jim. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie. Listen, I was in Vegas for the SEMA show, the big car show, and I went to a corporate party last night with Foreigner at the Hard Rock, and there was probably 150 overweight 60-year-old guys, no chicks. And it was the only one guy from Foreigner. It was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
Was it Lou Graham?
It was not Lou. It was Mick Jones.
Yeah, then I don't think you saw Foreigner. I don't care what it says on the sign.
It was a cover band, dude, with one guy is what it was. It was unbelievably bad. And the funny thing is that they got this pathetic lead singer who's out running around into the audience, high-fiving people, going, like, for what? Hey, just check me out, I got this gig? It was terrible.
You know what I love about it, though, is like we've become as lame as our dads. When we used to think that our dads were idiots, we're every bit as bad. All right, thanks a lot, dude.
Remember? Yeah, man.
All right, peace out. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. The WWE is putting out a brand new book, Fezzy.
It's called Controversy Creates Cash. It's by Eric Bischoff, who, of course, ran WCW in its heyday. Eric Bischoff, he's going to be part of the WWE's Cyber Sunday pay-per-view this weekend, where you can vote on if he should referee the match between DX and Edge and Randy Orton coming up.
Now, Fez, we, from being in Florida and all, we had seen what that company was like before Bischoff was through, that they would have some gigantic events planned at big places and not be able to draw at all, right?
Exactly. And then, of course, we were also there, for things like the birth of the NWO, and Hogan turning bad, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but before Eric Bischoff became part of the WCW, and before that, was it NWA was what it was considered?
It was NWA, and it was run by the Crockett's.
Yeah, it was in a far distant, and I don't even know if they would be considered second. So it's kind of an interesting thing, because when you look back at 90s wrestling, and we've had Paul on the show not too long ago talking about the ECW, and of course everybody knows that Vince kind of went up, struggled for a while, and back up again. But I'm wondering how much of that would have happened without WCW, and what would have happened with the WCW without Eric Bischoff. Eric, welcome to the Ron and Fez show. How are you, pal?
Good. I'm great.
So when you got back to write the book about these days, the days of the 90s and the Monday Night Wars, was it the first time you thought about it for a while, or is this the first time you had a chance to put all your thoughts together?
Yeah, it really was, because occasionally over the last couple of years since I've been with WWE, clearly I've done some press and I've done some interviews from time to time, and it's always something that people want to talk about to a certain degree, but never really got into the depth and the breadth of the experience and the entire time period, particularly as it relates to my career in sports entertainment, as I did when I wrote the book. So it actually took a while, and it was the hardest thing for me about writing the book is quite honestly remembering, the details and the important moments and what I call pivot points in my career, because it's, by nature, I don't dwell on the past. I don't think about the past. I tend to live, for the moment and worry a lot about tomorrow, and I really don't care so much about what happened yesterday, because it's over and done, and it's not going to affect my life. So because of just the way I am, generally speaking, so many of the good things and the bad, I just put out of my mind, and I don't dwell on them. So having to go back and reflect on all that was a real challenge.
And I guess to remember dates and times, because you're moving around, which is basically an army of people on a constant level. The schedule must have been crazy at that time.
Yeah, it was, and it still is to this day, just in a little bit of a different way. But I think that the real challenge was so much happened over such a short period of time. When you look at the heyday, as you referred to it a few moments ago, of WCW, which in my opinion really started about the middle of '94, late '94, early '95, to the end of 1998, middle of 1998. We accomplished so much and changed not only our business, but changed the entire industry in so many profound ways that, many of those ways, we're still, watching every Monday night today. But so much happened over such a short period of time. That was the biggest thing. We lived literally 10 years worth of business experience over a 3 or 4 year period of time.
But, when you look back at this, it seems like Vince, of course, gets a lot of credit for, taking wrestling where he did it. Paul gets a lot of credit for the stuff that he came up with, ECW. But when it comes to Eric Bischoff, and I don't know it's because you played a heel promoter or whatever at the time, but it seems like they give a lot of credit to Ted Turner's money instead of directly to you. Do you think that's fair that comes up as a knock on you, or am I off there?
Well, I think you hit an interesting point on the head. Part of that is, and I don't know how much Paul Heyman reveals, but Paul Heyman was funded by the WWE and Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Heyman likes to talk about the fact that he's a small independent renegade outfit, but the truth of the matter is he was funded by WWE. And add to that, the real issue, as it relates to me and who gets credit for what, hold on one second, I'm going to switch phones. I guess I'm not, is that for a long time, during the peak of the war, Vince McMahon never really wanted to acknowledge Eric Bischoff. It was a lot more palatable for WWE to run around telling everybody they were in the battle for their lives against this corporate giant, Ted Turner, as opposed to saying, there's this guy running around Atlanta by the name of Eric Bischoff that's kicking our ass. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that has as much to do with it as anything.
So, and you thought it was probably a pretty good strategy on Vince's to kind of.
Sorry?
It was a pretty good strategy for Vince because it suddenly made him the underdog against the billionaire.
Well, it was a good strategy. You know, Paul tried to do the same thing. Excuse me 1 second.
Sure.
Paul tried to do the same thing. Is, you know, if you listen to Paul Heyman, you know, tell his side of the story, you know, Big Bad Eric Bischoff, you know, who had all of, you know, billionaire Ted's money, is rate stealing all my talent. Okay.
Right.
Nothing is further from the truth. And even the people that worked for Paul when I came to work for WWE, we used to laugh about that. The real truth of the matter is that Paul Heyman never paid anybody. Guys would go for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 weeks without a paycheck, and when they got a paycheck, it bounced. So these guys who, you know, that had to feed their families and pay their bills from time to time would call me.
But I guess I guess where like history seems to be kinder to Paul is that he gets the credit more or less for the extreme style and for some of those, I guess the storylines running closer to real that maybe you and Vince picked up on. Do you agree with that, or do you think that's...
I disagree with that completely.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Paul should get a lot of credit for a couple different things. I mean, I think Paul should get credit for developing a niche product. And when I say niche product, I don't mean to make that sound derogatory or demeaning, but Paul struck a nerve. He either intuitively knew or just goddamn lucky and figured out that there was this kind of disaffected, you know, wrestling fan out there that really didn't like the WWE product at the time, that really didn't like the WCW product at the time, that felt like they were kind of left out in the cold and nobody was catering to their style, which is the very bloody, kind of, as you refer to it, extreme style, you know, tables and barbed wire and thumbtacks and fire and, you know, can openers and chainsaws or whatever the hell else they could bring to the ring. And, you know, and Paul tapped into that, and he made these people feel like, you know, finally they had their version of sports entertainment, and they became very loyal. And I think that's to be applauded and recognized.
Eric Bischoff's on the line. His new book is Controversy Creates Cash, and he's going to be part of WWE's Cyber Sunday, this Sunday's pay-per-view. Eric, is there anything that you regretted during when you were running WCW? Something you look back now and thought you should have done different?
Of course there is. You know, when in life, you can't help but looking back at your life in general and pick out things you wish you would have done differently, and certainly my career is no different. I think if there was one thing, quite honestly, it would be a period in about 1998 when it finally dawned on me what the impact was going to be on WCW of the merger between Time Warner and Turner and ultimately AOL and Time Warner. I came to work one day and went from being, you know, a very autonomous kind of independent, you know, president of my own division to having to answer to a committee full of people that quite honestly didn't even know what day of the week my show aired. And I knew at that moment that things were never going to be the same. And I contemplated resigning at that point in time. And I went home and talked to my wife about it, and after thinking about it for a couple of days for a variety of reasons, decided not to resign. But I actually wish I had at that time, because I think, A, my career would have ended up much differently than it has, and B, I think it may have given me the opportunity at that particular moment to change, at least in the short term, the direction that the company was going.
Eric, let's take a step. Let's go back a little bit. How were you able to take this company, which Fez and I had gone to a lot of events before you came in, and when this thing had been on TBS for years, and they would really be small. How did you turn this company into something that could compete and even start to beat the WWE?
By focusing on ways to make it different. You know, too often, and we see it today even in the TNA product and in other areas, but, you know, so often when you decide you want to compete with somebody, people tend to focus on ways to be better than the competition. And oftentimes, that's hard to do. And in some cases, it's impossible to do. And in the case of WCW, it was clearly impossible for us to be better than the WWE in doing what the WWE was so good at. And if you go back in 1995 and you look at the WWE and the way they marketed themselves and the way they produced their programs, You know, they were so good at it and had such a, you know, that we were a distant number 2 to them, you know, prior to Nitro. And they billed themselves as, you know, number 1 in family entertainment. Their characters, their storylines, their entire presentation was very over the top, very animated, and kind of like a human cartoon. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, but that was the nature of the presentation because their audience was really built and their business was really built on licensing and merchandising towards kids. Okay, I knew I couldn't possibly be better at that than they were. They'd been doing it too long. They were too good at it. So I was forced to either be different than them or to be less than them. I clearly didn't want to be less than them, so I focused on becoming different. And I literally, you know, made a list of all the different ways that the core values of my brand could be different than the core values of the WWE brand. And it started with really simple things. For example, their show was taped. I decided to make mine live because that would give me the ability to really create the sense that things were spontaneous and truly anything could happen that would be a surprise. And that's a very important element in our business is surprise and anticipation. The audience, every audience likes it, but particularly in wrestling, they thrive on it. And being live gave me a much greater advantage than being taped.
Did you have a performer right up front who was like, okay, this guy gets it, everybody see what he's doing and go in that direction?
Did I ever have a performer that did that?
Yeah, I mean, like right away when you're trying to take on Vince, was there one guy who you said, all right, this is going to be our go-to guy, I want everybody to keep an eye on him? Because
No, and again, our success was more about our strategy than it was about our talent.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the talent that we had for a long time. You know, we had Hogan for almost a year and a half at that time, and it was what it was, and it wasn't all that great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hogan's character, the red and yellow character, had kind of played itself out, and it was doing okay. I don't mean to demean it at all, but it wasn't like it wasn't rocking anybody's world. Sting had been around for a long time. Flair had been around for a long time. And most of the guys that people were watching on Nitro were the same guys that they were watching on WCW Saturday night. The difference was the strategy that we used.
Thanks, Eric. Eric Bischoff's new book, Controversy Creates Cash. That's available now. It's in stores now. And, of course, check out Eric Bischoff this Sunday on WWE Cyber Sunday on pay-per-view starting at 8 o'clock. Thanks, Eric. Bob Barker announced his retirement after 50 years on television, 35 years with The Price is Right.
What did he do for the first 15 years?
The first 15 years, I think he was the host of Truth or Consequences.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think he did that for a full 15 years before he actually picked up Price is Right.
So how old is he now?
I think he's mid-80s. I think he's like 84. And always said he would just die on stage, but he's finally going to step down. Next June, I think, will be his last program.
Well, then he still has time that he could die on stage.
If that's his wish. I don't know, Bob Barker, best game show host of all time? Because I think Price is Right is a great game show. But I was with hosts. I was always more. I always like Bill Cullen. I was always a fan of his.
Yeah. How old are you? Bill Cullen never did a show in color.
I'm not that old.
Best game show host. I don't even know if you have to be a good one. I guess the guy who did Wheel of Fortune was always pretty good.
Oh, Pat Sajak?
But, other than that, all you got to really do is keep things clipping along. It's like saying, who's the best announcer of all time? Because all they really are announcers.
Right. Wink Martindale was always good, but I always thought that was because he had the name and the hair to go along with it. I felt that's what his look actually made him a better game show host.
Earl, what game shows do black people watch? We've never had a black game show host, have we?
Not that I can think of. Growing up, I was always a big Family Feud fan. For whatever reason.
Was that Richard Dawson in those days?
Yeah, Richard Dawson.
Yeah, he was probably the best. There should be some kind of how much is that booty weigh show that maybe that you and I could put together and you could host it.
I remember my father would always have this, he would always say Family Feud was biased towards blacks because they would just ask these questions that only white people could really relate to.
I don't know, when blacks did the show, it was always funny because they would go fucking apeshit crazy. And the Bob Barker show, when they show their highlights, it's always a black woman going out of her fucking mind because she just won a dishwasher.
Yeah, you totally want a black woman being told to come on down because they will scream and holler.
Wasn't it the famous one that her titties popped out, or titties fell out?
Right, yeah. Just trying to get down the steps to the stage.
And they always would practically tackle Bob Barker once they got on the stage. And he was just like, okay, calm down, we're going to play it. And they'd just be losing it and just practically tearing his clothes off.
Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Nipsey Russell hosted a show, I think.
I don't remember Nipsey hosting one now. I remember him being on all the time. He would do Match Game. Well, he actually did all the shows. But I don't remember him hosting.
That was always great with Nipsey because he would always tell like a little rhyme before they would go into the show.
Yeah, he always had a. There was a lady. He maybe was America's first rapper. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh man, you guys are forgetting Chuck Woolery, man, the world famous signature move. We'll be back in 2 and 2. I mean,
that was big for Chuck Woolery. Never was a fan though. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
29,875, my brothers.
Hey, buddy boy.
Hooah! Gene Rayburn, the best of all time. Didn't you just want to get hammered and be on that show?
Gene Rayburn, you can still watch those old match games from the 70s, and it honestly does seem like everyone's having martinis and maybe a joint.
You always just see burning cigarette butts and glasses are on the little collector.
It all feels like that movie, The Ice Party, or was that, no, The Ice Storm, where it looks like this thing could turn into a key party at any moment. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man, Peter Tamarkin from Press Your Luck.
I don't remember Peter Tamarkin.
The guy, the whammy show, where they hit the whammy and nothing?
I remember the show, I just don't remember the host all that much.
Keith, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I got to come. This is Keith. I'm 38, and I got to come to Fez's defense again, like I did last week with his crazy making the house clean the mother thing.
Fez, it sounds like you've made a best friend here.
I've got one named Keith.
I remember Bill Cullen on To Tell the Truth when I was about 4 or 5 years old.
And you're still alive.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Alex Trebek with the mustache. Without, he's a pompous ass.
I think he's pompous either way, but I do think he was better with the mustache. Eric, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, buddy. Hey, I got 2 things for you. In the 70s, there was a black host on one of the dating shows. I don't remember which one, but I see the repeats with him on there occasionally.
Was it called Who Wants to Date a Black Hoe?
I do.
No. That would be actually a funny game show.
It would be a good game show called Hoe or Blow. And you got to make that pick now. Do you want to blow or do you want to hoe? I do not remember a black game show host. Yeah. Not of a popular one, anyone. I'm sure there's been, here and there. But a real hit, runaway hit game show. And I can't believe we're back around to where game shows are in prime time again.
Yeah, we're totally there with 1 versus 100. I guess doing well on Friday.
And not a good show, and really neither is How Much Is the Money in Your Briefcase. These are not really they're shows almost like for idiots instead of a real kind of quick, smart game show.
I've got the one from last night that debuted on Fox, the Rich List. I've got that T-vote. I haven't looked at it yet because it's up against Lost.
Oh, no, I didn't watch Lost last night. Fuck, I can't believe they killed Echo.
I was always a Mr. Echo fan. His was my favorite backstory on Lost.
Why did they ever build him up? First of all, he didn't start with Lost. They have the goddamn plane crash. We start to get into him, and then before you know, he's back out again. Why even do it?
Yeah. Echo should have been one of the guys saving the day for Kate and Jack and Sawyer.
It's like you didn't even know Kate and Jack and Sawyer. I don't know if he had any scenes with any of them. Here's Pitsy.
Did you notice that all 3 drunk drivers got killed off the show? With Michelle Rodriguez, Libby, and Echo?
I didn't know Echo was a drunk driver.
They dropped the charges, but they arrested him a couple months ago for drunk driving.
In Hawaii?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is with Hawaii where a guy can't drive drunk. They will jump on your ass in a heartbeat. And they were all people that were in the tail. Every one of them was in the tail. And then last night we just had a new girl who's, I guess, been in the background all this time and we didn't know. I thought she was as good as dead. And that happened.
And her negative boyfriend.
It's a problem, I think, when you get away from Jack and Sawyer and the girl. Then it starts to get dull again. And it's been a damn good story, but maybe there's too many people up front.
Well, what they ended up having to do last night was, that Locke became like the star of the show as he's leading the expedition. And
they do that all the time. Locke starred in the show a couple weeks ago, but I feel like when you take the big three out of it, you're slowing things down. Not always a good idea. Dave, you're not even a Lost guy, are you?
No, I'm just waiting to get it on DVD this Christmas. That's what I'm going to do. I came in too late, and then I decided, fuck it, I'm not going to watch it ever again. I mean, I'm never going to watch it, It should be like watching The X-Files midway through season 4.
That's when I picked up. I picked in season 6 is when I went, I go, this show stinks.
The X-Files.
Yeah, it was just awful.
I went and saw the X-Files movie, would never see in the TV show. That was a mistake.
Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, game show host Colin Quinn. Well, secondary game show host Colin Quinn.
I guess Colin was kind of the announcer on that show. Fez and I have talked about this for years. Remote Control was our favorite game show, probably of all time. And the exciting thing is, Earl had been on that show, and so was Mikey Boy. Now, Mikey Boy has a copy of himself on it, but Earl, you have never seen yourself on the show.
Never seen. The only time I saw it was when it aired. Yeah. It aired it was supposed to air at 11 and it aired at 7, and it never reran again.
Well,
ever.
All the questions about videos, or just a lot of the questions were about videos?
The final round, when you make the final thing, they strap you in this like giant couch, and it had a bank of videos, and that was, you had to name all the videos on the screens.
Well, didn't you? Now, if I would have had to pick two people to play music trivia at all, I would pick Earl and Mikey Boy. Probably, I don't even know which one I would pick. By the way, I understand Mikey Boy was upset about me with the anti-REM stuff the other day.
Oh, really?
And he brought up, they invented college radio. That's the reason they hate him. That's the reason they hate REM. College radio.
What's wrong with college radio? I came out of college radio.
Thank you. I can always count on you to be there for me. Look at me, big guy.
Yeah.
High five.
No.
You never leave Daddy alone, do you? You're always there for Daddy. Thank you. Slam and dunk on you, Mikey Boy. Exhibit A. This redheaded fucking loser. Look how red your fucking face is.
I am.
Yeah.
He's upset.
Yesterday at Dave's birthday ice cream bash, I said that we had all gathered together to tell his girlfriend that she could do better, right? And I go, these were all your friends, and we just wanted you to be here because we know you could do better. This fucking girl starts laughing and wouldn't stop. 25 minutes later, she is still laughing at the joke.
Yeah.
Dave has the funniest thing in the world. You couldn't, and I mean this in the best way.
All right.
You can't be more inappropriate or more of a dick than what you are in life. And yet, when his girlfriend, who has a master's degree in education, starts to talk, Dave starts like, all right, that's enough. And he tries to shut her up like you're embarrassed of her.
Oh, yeah, because I'm afraid that she's going to say something, and, that it's going to reflect poorly on me. So I'm always like, okay, wrap it up.
Here's the thing. You're the embarrassment, not her. And he's like... The whole time she's like, I went out to a movie the other day. And she's like, oh, Mr. B doesn't want to hear about that.
He's not interested in movies.
Please go sit down. And I've seen him physically shove this girl.
Ron's got his own movies to think about. He doesn't need your opinions of movies.
Why are you like that, though?
I have no idea. No, it's something that from the day one when I met you guys and she was there, I was always nervous. Like,
even
she's
before,
say something stupid.
Even before you start working here?
That's why we always had food in front of us at Bar 9, so that when you guys would come around and talk to us, I'd go, hey, Claire, eat one of these potato skins. And honestly,
I'm going to tell you the truth. That little girl is a tapeworm because she is too little and too thin to eat as much as she does. Here's Willie. Willie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good.
I'm really frustrated with this cookie cutter formula that they're taking on with Heroes and Lost. That nothing happens. They do something and then it just drags on for 3 episodes.
Well,
and there's no plot arc movement.
There is plot arc movement, but the point is this: all shows are not are about characters. A sitcom is just about characters. A drama is just about characters. And what they try to do, like with a law show, is to take something and shove it into 1 fucking hour that normally would be 2 years out of the guy's life.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, if you looked at any of the attorneys from the O.J. Simpson trial, that one trial took them years by the time they got into and got out of, and none of them have really been, as far as I know, involved with another big case. Yet, with like on a TV lawyer, he's got a big case of it. It doesn't happen that way. So really, the heroes, I understand where you're coming from, because I think this show is aimed a little too much at children. Lost, they don't want to figure anything out, because then the show will be over. And I guarantee you we're going to be disappointed with whatever they make up at the end.
Do you think there'll be a Lost movie? I mean, if there's rumors that there's going to be a Sopranos movie, why not Lost?
I will make this guarantee. I won't be going. I will not be going to a Lost movie.
Why not?
Because I'll put it up there with the movie Fez brought up, the X-Files movie. Just idiotic, stupid. It's a TV show. It's not a movie. Only one TV show went on to make a great movie, and that was the Flintstones. They were able to pull it off with that 007 Fred Flintstone.
Star Trek didn't make a good movie?
I never liked one Star Trek.
Really?
Don't bring up Wrath of Khan to me, because I ain't going to listen to you.
Okay.
I don't have time for the Wrath of Khan talk.
All right. Star Trek 6 is pretty awesome.
Here's Harv. Harv, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Lost, that guy that came out of the toilet last night, flushed it, he's a famous Brazilian actor. And he was introduced...
Brazil, sister. We gotta move along. You're in the USA. Let's see if you can hit big league pitching.
Anyway, it was a big deal to that country that this guy was going to be on this, very, well-known show, and he's got nothing but stupid lines. He was,
I had no idea about this.
Yeah, this guy, it was a big deal to them that, one of their biggest stars.
First of all, I'm shocked that Brazil has TV. I had no idea. I thought they lived along a river and tried to shoot white people with blow darts as they came by looking for medicine. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Tommy.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Tommy?
Hey, you here?
Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes, Tommy can hear you.
Tommy.
Hey.
Tommy.
Ah, fuck. I hate it. I'm in Illinois. It sucks here.
Tommy.
Ronnie, can you hear me?
Tommy.
You know what? Never moved to Illinois. Shut yourself up.
Let me go to Frank. Frank, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, for game show host, what about Bob Eubanks?
Awful. What a fucking fake show if there's ever been one.
He never did anything. He just had Newlywed Game.
Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I want to ask Fezzy why it sounded like he was giving Eric Bischoff the bum's rush to get him off the phone when he was finishing up with his interview.
Yeah, what happened there, Fez? I thought, was it because he was more corporate than about wrestling?
Yeah, he was really just wanting to talk about the business side of it. He had a bad phone. I just wasn't getting any information that I wanted to hear from him.
What did you want to hear about, the wrestlers?
Yeah, I wanted to hear about, Hogan turning heel. I didn't want to hear about, when AOL and Time Warner took over my division.
Yeah, let me see where you're going. I liked hearing that stuff, though. To me, the business side is interesting. You should have brought up a couple wrestlers to him. But even I tried to ask him one question about... Give me somebody who personified, thinking that maybe that would lead us into Goldberg or Flair or when Hogan turned bad or the Outsiders, but he just felt like it had to do with marketing stuff. He never was really into that, the entertainment side of sports entertainment, I guess.
No, I mean, one thing he prides himself on is saying he's not a wrestling guy, that he's a sales and marketing guy that got into wrestling.
I even tried to set him up with the knock on him that no one ever gives him. The dude where Paul, who came in here, Paulie's considered a genius.
Oh, yeah, and always will be. Yeah, considered to turn that around. And got stolen from, when Vince started putting people through tables. But yeah, apparently that's all Bischoff wants to talk about is the business part.
Stand by, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies? I really enjoyed meeting you guys at the Halloween party. Ronnie, I was dressed as you, so thanks for being a sport about the pictures.
It's kind of hurtful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But good thing about Lost, you're saying they were killing off someone said they were killing off all the people with DUIs. They said that Libby's going to come back in a couple of flashbacks, they're saying. And
well, they all do that. Anybody they kill in the show always pops back up in a flashback. But that ain't the same thing as getting a straight paycheck.
No.
Because those paychecks are something like $90,000 a week, and you're barely even in the show. So that's got to hurt when, like, hey, you're not going to be getting that $90,000 a week anymore. Because where else are you going to work?
Nowhere else. Nowhere.
Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
In the USA Today this morning, it actually had exactly why Echo was off. It's because he wants to direct a movie, and his parents died this past year, and he's going to go back to London.
Oh, so he just wants to get out of the whole gimmick.
Yeah, he was on Regis this morning saying the same thing.
They should have put that in his backstory, that his parents had died and he's going back to London.
But that's also what they all say, because Adriana claimed that she wanted to make the show with Joey, and I don't think it was voluntarily her decision. It's just my own theory.
Who wouldn't want to volunteer to be on fucking a show, a sitcom, and get that kind of money compared to cable money?
So you think she left The Sopranos to go make Joey? I think that, Sopranos at least is a platform for you to go into films.
Has she? Did anyone go into films from that fucking show? Not even Tony has made the fucking transition.
And Joey was like the big flagship show for NBC.
Yeah.
The upcoming season.
I'm sure she started making 100, 150 a week or right up the fucking bat.
No, it was a poor decision.
You know what she was making at Sopranos? $9.50 an hour.
Well, she's going to regret it.
Jamie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Have you noticed everyone on Lost that's come across the island from that tail section is dead, except for Bernard?
Yeah, the husband.
He's going to last.
Now, the thing with Bernard is early on, they acted like his wife was... At one point, remember, we even thought she was God. Where we were like, she is God personified on this island, watching over. And now we're like, nah. She's barely even in the fucking show. That's why I stopped trying to figure this shit out.
I gotta see this show. I mean, just when you're talking about it, there's tunnels, time warps, possible aliens. You think a wife is God. It does sound interesting,
And yet you haven't watched. You're not part of it. Pitsy, you on the other hand, you dig?
It's my favorite show ever.
Good.
I've studied more about Lost than I ever did for SATs or any bullshit like that,
Smart. What's your theory?
I don't have one. I just go with the flow.
I had theories. I'm like...
And they're all bullshit.
I had theories, and now I've dropped out. And I even went to some of the Lost fucking websites and tried to go, about the numbers, and... Yeah, forget it. You can't do it.
What about the guy with the eye patch in the other station that they just found, too? It just keeps going.
Wasn't it weird? I wear an eye patch the other night. The following fucking night, the eye patch is the big gimmick on TV.
I didn't know you were going as the guy from the other hatch in Lost.
I didn't know you were going as Matt Foley. Live by a man down at the river.
I was Clark Kent.
Watch out. Here's a ghoul pushing a teddy bear into a lake.
I'll bring the DVDs for Dave tomorrow, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Season 1
and 2? Yeah.
Oh,
Here's the problem. I don't want to sit around and talk post-seasons with you.
Come on.
I want to... you know what? I can't find that thing from Bill. Remember, Bill, you said gave me the Shield? Find out and say, what exactly did you give Ron? How many CDs? How many DVDs?
It was a whole season. I remember that.
Oh, fuck.
Damn. Yeah.
First season only?
No, I think it was... No, I think it was second season.
There's a nice stack.
Why would I go to second season? Go back over it and go, what is it?
Okay.
And then Earl, I'm going to have you, call and fucking just... Let's do this all behind the scenes.
When I'm caught up on Lost, then, because of Pitts, we could maybe discuss it during our ice cream weekend chats.
Michael, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, all those Sopranos actors have all tried to take a swing at movie stardom, and all of them have flopped. Like Gandolfini, he was in that abomination with Ben Affleck called Surviving Christmas.
That was his last one that he tried, yeah.
And All the King's Men, that was an absolute flat line.
Yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't have luck in that direction.
Yep.
Doesn't work out for him. Junior Soprano tried to put out a fucking album singing the Irish music. That went nowhere fast. That went nowhere fast. Craig, you're on Ron and Fez. Or Greg.
Hey, how you doing, boys?
Yeah.
My question to y'all is, why do you think the networks are going towards these pilot episodes such as Lost and Prison Break and even Jericho, where the show can end momentarily and it becomes a hit and they're kind of stuck having to just come up with ideas for shows that, Prison Break, they break out of prison, what happens next?
Yeah, well, every show's like that. Every show runs too long. It would be better if you just had the balls to say, we're going to have a show that runs 1 year and put everything into it, and all the plot points of Lost would happen in one season. It would just be kick-ass. That would be perfect. But this is America. We got soap to sell, ladies and gentlemen. Cookie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
When are you guys going to come to Chicago? You have a lot of fans here.
Yeah, I know that. I guess you were reading a thing in the Chicago papers about Fez and I taking that gig in Chicago. As of right now, no plans whatsoever. Do not
you guys should come out here. And I didn't see anything in the paper, so...
Do not believe everything that you read, particularly in the Tribune. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Fez could make it through a Chicago winter.
Oh, the wind coming off that lake?
Yeah.
That'd go right through my stent.
But, the Tribune's a North Side paper, and I'm a South Sider, so I'm a sometimes girl.
So you know what I say, Cubs? I say come a National League guy. Fezzy, you're American League, right?
Totally. White Sox.
Gay League.
Well, you guys should make it out here. We'd love to see ya.
Yeah. All right, we'll come out there.
Woo-hoo!
We'll have a deep dish pizza. All right, me and you.
All right, you got it.
All right, sweet home Chicago.
That's right, baby.
Finally coming back, because that's where I'm from, Fezzy.
You are?
Mm-hmm. Wrigleyville is where I was born and raised.
I had no idea.
Are you gay?
Yeah. And I remember on my 18th birthday, I got out of fucking town, never looked back. Literally, as I was pulling out of town, I threw a fucking stick of dynamite over the back of my head as I was leaving. But I want to get back. Do not believe the trib about Fez and I going. Maybe. Let's go Bears, huh?
Go Bears!
Go Bears! This is our year.
7-0, baby.
That's right. Grossman. Urlacher.
Urlacher's hot.
Another big win this weekend against the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going to kick their ass.
We sure are, baby.
Woo!
You know what, Fezzy? We ought to take it. Let's take the gig.
Oh, I don't know. You got to get me a new coat.
Why don't you just do summers with me?
Ronnie, you can come stay at my house if you want to come visit.
All right, honey, but I just want to remind you something. Some guys rape. No matter how nice they seem on the air, they get over your house, all they do is rape. It happens.
I think I can handle you, honey.
No, we'll see.
Fine.
All right, I'll see you soon, Cookie.
Okay, bye.
We should call our agent after the show. He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Me and him, that's how I met him. That's how I met Bob. Ron and Fez Show.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
Ron and Fez Show. I want to say congrats to Jim Norton. Great job last night on Letterman. Very funny, very smooth. Love the new jacket.
He looks good on television, doesn't he?
He does.
He really does. He's quite the character on there. When he starts making his expressions with his face, it really plays good on TV.
How you doing, big man?
I'm doing all right.
You were telling me during the break this is a little bit of a rough time for you?
Yeah, just leading up to that anniversary.
Yeah. I noticed the last couple of days that you've been kind of distant. We were at the ice cream thing yesterday. You weren't talking at all, and then you wouldn't go downstairs when we were at the candy store. Everything won't bothering you again?
It's just, I keep reliving it in my mind.
Mm-hmm. When is the exact 1 year anniversary of the heart attack?
The 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's bothering you? That's the fact that it could happen again, or what's happening?
Yeah, and it's just really, really vivid in my mind.
Yeah.
All the events leading up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to the heart attack?
Yeah.
So...
And I kind of laid out, because when I first started feeling the pain, I was in bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was the afternoon of Halloween.
Yeah.
So now, kind of like when I lay down, it all kind of replays itself over and over again.
Let me ask you this, though, Fez. How come and you're not going to talk to somebody about this? Because even when I asked you, or Earl asked you, you're like, no, I'm fine, when we know you're, kind of withdrawing from the gang.
Well, it just seems like kind of a stupid hypochondriac thing to do.
It's not a hypochondriac thing. You had a heart attack before. You're coming up on the anniversary of a heart attack. First of all, like, if it's people's anniversaries of 9/11, everyone talks about it again. You kind of go back to that thing. There's something about numbers. So that's probably what you're experiencing right now.
Yeah. I just remember going into that hospital and how scary that was.
Absolutely.
That was really, really frightening.
So you're worried about it happening again, or it's just bringing back the memories?
I think it's probably a little of both. It's the memories that are really getting to me. Yeah. Because, I mean, I know I've been to the doctor, and the stent's fine.
Everything is fine, yeah.
The piping's all good.
Right.
It's all cleared out. So I think it's just, traumatic stress or something like that.
Sure. But why don't you go see a shrink? I don't want you to feel like everyone's going to be calling you maniac or retard mongoloid behind your back. Why not go see somebody who knows how to talk these things out?
Well, I don't know. I've looked into like heart attack support groups and stuff.
Yeah.
And really couldn't find anything to go along with that.
Go see a regular shrink. Just go there and say, I'm sure you're not the first person who's had this experience.
Right.
The problem for you is, who are you going to do? Talk it over with me or Earl or Dave? You're surrounded by 3 mongoloids.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that hurts a little bit.
Well, I didn't mean yeah that way. But yeah. Shrink might be the way to go.
I wanted to say something here. Maybe the 1 year anniversary with you drinking, which you were making it seem like, I'm going to start drinking, maybe that's got you scared a little bit.
Well, yeah, maybe. Because I was trying to... The reason I wanted to do that was to have something fun and positive. Something fun to do to take my mind off of it.
Right.
On that anniversary, other than just dwelling.
Right, I understand. But does that scare you about drinking on that day? Because you haven't drank for a year.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, how much liquor I can actually hold. I mean, it may be one drink, and that's done.
Yeah, but I mean, are you worried that that's going to make you sick or hurt your heart?
Yeah, I worry about that. But I've kind of like...
Well, let's not do it. It's not that big a deal. We're not going to do it. I don't want to fucking do anything that's going to worry you. I don't want you being this, you get all upset and then finally you explode. And I don't know whether you're in a bad mood, but for the last couple of days, everybody's noticed. We went out for ice cream. He didn't say a word yesterday.
And yesterday, he kept clutching his chest. I remember at one point we were standing at the corner waiting for a light, and you were grabbing your chest, and I went, "You all right?" And you were like, "Yeah, I'm okay."
I did get that one sharp pain yesterday.
So it's all coming back. I mean, the feelings are coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, the empathy of being in that moment is all back.
Sure, I understand. I mean, I understand. I don't know exactly how to fix it. I think that you should probably see somebody, just talk it out.
Right.
You're not the first person to experience this. There are going to be ways to deal. Tim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Oh, man, he didn't break up. I thought he was going to totally start crying. I was waiting for my prize.
Yeah, close enough. We'll give it to you.
You can get a DVD copy of The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn from Universal Studios Home Entertainment.
How long has this been going on? You've been feeling upset?
Probably a week or so.
Why don't you say something else?
It just didn't seem like worth bringing up.
But the thing is, Like yesterday, we're like, I felt like we dragged Fez there, or I feel like you're not in a good mood sometimes, or like even when we had our meetings, you're distant. So I'm like, well, maybe he's not into this idea. I don't know what's on your mind. Obviously, Earl or Dave don't.
Yeah.
You have anybody you can confide in? You have anybody you can talk to?
No, not really. Not about this, anyway. Well, I talked to my dad about it.
What's he do? Still grabbing his own chest?
Yeah, because he's been through the same thing.
Yeah. So what's he do?
He just kind of tells me, he doesn't really give me any advice.
Right.
He just kind of commiserates.
But I'll just tell you this as your buddy. You did things like this before you had the heart attack, too. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't, oh, I had a heart attack, so now I get in these things. This has been going on for a long time, and then you had the heart attack, so now you're thinking about that.
Right, yeah.
Because this isn't just post-heart attack stuff. That's why I'm telling you, I think it's a little more complex than just finding a heart attack support group. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm with you there. Well, yeah, there's more to these feelings than just worried about having another heart attack.
Yeah, it's more like a coping thing.
Right.
And I mean, if it comes to is worth living, I'm the first to tell you, no, I had nothing to live for until Earl started winning me all these money with these bets. Then I finally started to see the joy in life. When I found out life is about, Fez, it's a large sums of money.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And not just that, not just money, but the goods and services you can buy with that money.
Oh, okay.
Found money, if you will. Nothing's better than found money. Won money.
I mean, for the right amount of money, a woman will say, go ahead, piss on me. In my mouth, really, if you come up with a decent amount of money.
Maybe I could give Fez some money. I mean, I want to help him out.
What do you got, debit card? How much you fucking got on you right now? Fez, just don't listen.
Yesterday he was trying to tell me how responsible you have to be to have a debit card.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Good afternoon, buddies.
Hey.
I'm actually a cardiologist, and I had a few pointers for Fez. Us guys in the industry, it's a common thing. It's a post-traumatic stress, whether he realizes it or not. There's some sort of stress there that's been just building up for a year, and it cannot hurt at all for him to go talk to somebody.
I think a big part of your problem, Fez, is you have trouble dealing with feelings.
Hey, Ron?
Yeah.
I'm actually an outside salesman, but I do believe it is some sort of stress. I have no clue, actually.
You could be arrested for impersonating a doctor.
I'm sorry the fact that your fucking pain brings joy to others, Fezzy.
They love it so.
You weren't in the mood to talk with Eric Bischoff. That's not the old Fez.
No.
You didn't. And then when you asked him a question, your question finally was, what's your biggest regret? Like he was going to bring up Hart. You love all the guys that were from them. You love the NWO. You didn't ask him any questions about that. That's not the old Fez that we knew.
Right. Yeah, I should have done better on that.
It's not doing better. That's not the point. I'm saying it's not a matter of doing better. Could give two fucks about Eric Bischoff. But where's the fact is, you're feeling all these other feelings that you're not having joy around you now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you the way to make it. That's money. That may just be for me.
Right.
You might find something else. Stocks, I don't know.
Fez, what are the things that give you joy? What gives you pleasure? What makes you happy? And then just zero in on those things. And
first of all, they're too young, and they won't let him have them. A hairless cock is something he can't get in this lifetime.
What's something legal that you can do and gives you joy?
We're going to start going back to McFadden's on Saturdays. He seemed very happy at McFadden's.
Were you happy, Fez, or were you faking it till you make it? Have you been happy at all?
And how long?
Since your heart attack.
Yeah, there's been times when I've been happy. I mean, very rarely. But other than that, It's kind of there every day that you have to deal with it.
Sure, I know. I mean, I don't know, but I know you got to deal.
But even when Notre Dame wins, you just dwell on the things that went wrong. Why not just enjoy the win?
You know, some of us are a little more negative than others, Earl. I can tell you to get whiter. You can't do it. Everybody is born with the fucking hand they're born with. Poor Fezzi had 4 different suits, no fucking pairs. That's the hand he has. I tell him to fold, but it's the only life you're going to get.
True.
Charlie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Hey, I went through the same thing with Fez. In 1999, I was 39 years old, had a heart attack July 4th weekend. A year later, broke out into the sweats.
Yeah.
Just kept thinking about it. Finally had to go to a therapist. And so, because the whole point that probably causes your heart attack is you're not dealing with your feelings, you're not dealing with emotions, and you think that they're all wrong, whatever you have anyway. Like, I shouldn't feel this way.
Right, it feels stupid when I know there's nothing wrong with my heart right now.
Right.
It feels stupid to be worried about the heart attack.
So there's something else there. Here's the problem that you're having. You can't figure it out, right?
Right.
You've got to get somebody to help you figure it out.
True. Yeah.
You know how they say that we only use 10% of our brains?
Right.
I think we only use 10% of our hearts. Wait a minute, hold on. Why are you fucking crying, Dave?
I don't know.
You're crying at Fezzi hurting?
I guess so.
I can't have a fucking crybaby show. I gotta have one guy on my show. Why are you crying, Dave?
I don't want to see Fez said. Oh.
Fez, you need me to make any adjustments? Let me ask you the truth. Is there too many gay jokes on this show? Is the ghoul pushing the teddy bear into the lake?
No, I don't think the ghoul pushes the teddy bear all that much. That badly. No, I don't think that's a problem.
I mean, I think there's just something so deeply rooted and deeply seated, and so, I mean, I know...
You think you got touched as a kid. That's what I was the same way. I got 2 fucking guys with bar towels rubbing their fucking fat, red, beady eyes. It's not a good show that we do here.
Well, I had a heart attack. I don't know what his excuse is.
He was born dead. He fucking had brain damage.
I'm very empathetic. When I watch a movie and someone gets hurt, I go, ouch. Fez, I'm a friend I care for.
Did you notice that he was very withdrawn and he seemed sad yesterday during your party?
Yes, yeah. I did. I wasn't going to bring it up or anything like that because, I figured let him do his own thing.
KC, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Dick Holder, number 31.
Oh, good, nice.
Face! That cheers me up a little.
Yeah, I want to see if I could get put into the Big Ass Prize Closet for Dave crying.
Sure, go ahead in.
We'll get you one of those DVDs of the breakup from Universal Studios Home Entertainment.
All right, Dave, if we could drop you for a second, let's get back to Fez.
Yes.
This has been going on, you say, for about a week.
Yeah.
And you think it's got to do with the anniversary, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, from my limited fucking knowledge of psychology, I mean, I do have a GED from my high school, and I was a shop major. So I think I know where I'm coming from when I say numbers, for some reason, we play a big part in our life. It's not unusual. It wasn't. You didn't think everybody was crazy when they felt bad again on 9/11 every year. It brings back those things. The problem for this is we're not all sharing this with you. You don't seem to have anybody you could talk to about it because you ask me, and then I'll go and say, oh, Fezzi, go back to the doctor. You go get checked out. And I go, good, you're all right. And I expect that to be okay. It's not that I'm not empathetic, but I probably don't know how to say the right things to you.
Right. Well, you just, you haven't been through it.
Right.
So it's hard to have, to emphasize completely with the feeling.
I tell you, hey, buck up, buckaroo, and you go, okay. And then I feel like I did a good job, and I go home and feel like I did. And I don't mean to do that. I honestly believe you need to talk to somebody who can help you get to these fucking, obviously, someone raped you or something when you were a little kid. We're going to find out who that is. I'll go back and kill that fuck. That's what I can do for you.
Well, I don't think I was raped, but I appreciate the offer.
I can kill somebody from your past.
Thank you for that. If I figure out who it is,
I'll go kill people randomly. I'll fucking do some random murders, and then one day after one funeral, you're going to feel better, and then a hero will come along.
Of course, it could be someone who was already dead.
Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, this is Jim. I had a heart attack 2 years ago, and I understand a little bit about what Fez is talking about.
Yeah.
But I had to go see a psychiatrist because I was so worried about, heart attack and all dying and all that. And, everybody in my family and the doctors and all that told me, just shut the hell up and go and live your life. Quit worrying about everything, because worrying ain't going to do nothing but draw on another heart attack. It's going to draw your blood pressure up. It's going to make you feel like crap all the time. You're going to feel depressed and everything. Just buck up, grab a hold of your heart, and say, to hell with it. I want to live life to the fullest, because life's too daggone short to sit there and lollygag around and worry about everything.
Fez, would you feel like better going out with Jim from Alabama? You guys could light a black church on fire and go back the way you were before. What?
You got to follow your heart's love.
What I'm saying is take your mind off of things. If you got to be a dumb hayseed and go down there and do that shit, I'm all for it. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, Fez, my heart's going out to you. You got to remember what you're feeling right now isn't who you are. It's symptoms of your anxiety. It's so classic. You start these thoughts that keep spinning around and around, what if, and it's dragging you down, and you start to withdraw from things that you love.
It's true. Let me ask you this, Fezzy.
Uh-huh.
What's the downside of you going to see a therapist? Somebody that can help you What if we just organize the things that you're unhappy with? What? We've talked about you seeing a therapist for a year, and you won't do it. What is stopping you? What? You do not want to do it?
It's just that I feel like I've been down that road, especially, when they start suggesting pills and stuff.
You're not going to take pills. So forget that. But at some point, something's bothering you, right?
Right.
You don't know exactly what it is, right?
Right.
Is that scary to find out?
Yeah, probably.
That's going to bring the rape back. That's going to be, at some point, you must be thinking, because if you're a little boy, that man's cock must look gigantic. It must look like a surfboard with two fucking hairy basketballs hanging from it. So I can understand that that's the fucking fear.
I don't even have a suspect in that.
But I don't think that you're going to have any other way that you can do this. My point is this. Yes, you're worried, but you're also disorganized and you're worried. And you're worried. You don't know which is an important worry and which is a small worry.
Yeah, because they run amok. And I've got no sort of process to get them back in the pen.
Yeah. So I don't know how to do that for you.
Right.
Do you have anyone else that you can talk to if you don't go to a therapist? You got like a minister or something?
Yeah, I do. I have that.
Why don't you try that?
Yeah. That's a good idea. That's something I never even thought of.
You need to get some outside advice. For some reason, you're afraid to go to the therapist. I don't blame you. Fucking recalling a rape has got to be fucking terrible. I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, I have trouble with, like, rape memories things. I was the fucking rapist. And it still freaks me out, when I see some of the horrible things in my memory that I did. Luckily, with alcohol, you can't remember all of them. But, sometimes at night is like, I'll just hear these voices in my head. Stop, you're hurting me. You're hurting me. And then when she does admit she's a slut, I'll eventually let her up.
Maybe we should find a couple of therapists.
Why? I'm fine.
Oh.
I'm on a winning streak. You still want to do the show?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Shit. Hey, I was just thinking if there could be some, good part of this. First of all, I'm not surprised that you feel freaked out a year later. I will go on the record as saying this. I'm worried about the drinking show now.
The drinking I thought would be fun. I thought it would be different.
I don't know whether you know this or not, but you tend to get a little emotional when you drink.
True.
And I'm worried about Niagara Falls, Frankie.
The drinking show I would still like to do. That seems like a nice distraction.
How much time we got here? Because we got a hypnotist that wants to help him. All right. Jim, you're on Ron and Fez. Real quick.
Hey, NLP and hypnosis background, which I guess you have some of that too, Ronnie?
Yes, I do.
You know, it's just, he's just connecting up the dots, and he's remembering it, and he's pulling everything back up again. Just Fezzy, ask yourself 3 questions, okay? 1, what is this getting you out of? And figure it out. And 2, ask yourself what emotion that you're feeling that you're suppressing. If you answer both those questions, it'll go away, Fez.
All right, thanks. That gives me an idea, Fezzy.
What's that?
I think I can cure you.
How?
I think I can make you 100% better.
Really? You got the answer?
Yeah, I really do. What I'm going to need you to do is let me know exactly.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley, The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.